I'm too busy eating things. I'm a hungry boy, and I desire the consumption of nutrients. That's the time. What? Hold up! Hold up! Hold up! What do you mean, final? What? Listen, if I'm in Final Fantasy VII, they did so without my permission. I do not appreciate. I do not appreciate this unpaid labor, this unpaid use of. Oh, I can't even say it with a straight face without feeling like a big old dum dum. But hey, the senator's there. The senator is here. It feels like it's been forever. It feels like it's been forever. Oh. It makes a man want to swoon. Time for it. Family Guy. No! Of the 8 trillion combinations of letters in the English language, you had to go with that? That was what you decided to come into the room with? I've just sat down. Hold up, I need to. What was the last chapter about again? I think, yeah, we were like at the... Oh, God, I forgot the art, man. The art is so charming. How could a man forget this wondrous art? Made with sheer passion. Realm Grinder is one of those games where both nothing matters and you need to follow a guide. What's Realm Grinder again? I feel like that's one of the ones that I played, though. Oh, it's been so long. No, I'm thinking of another one. And the art's nice, at least. At least it's got that. What was it doing again? Probably not picking my nose, though. There, I need to clear some stuff up. So, it's been a while. I'm very sorry about that, but there's really nothing I could do with how bad the weather was. Saying it was murderous is accurate, considering people have died as a result of the heat. Though, a surprisingly large amount of people died because they jumped into a river and drowned, which, technically speaking, is a heat-related death. But I feel like the insurance companies are going to go like, no, 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 and whack the little fingers at you. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about that. Huh. All right. Ugh. So where were we? Did we get it? 40, 40. Suddenly dropping below 20. I've been knocked out. Can only sleep. I think people a lot of people forget is that Europe doesn't have the same kind of heat. Um, an interesting detail someone told me is that one, because we are higher in terms of latitude, or is the other one? Doesn't fucking matter. We're further north-south. We're further from the tropics. And what happens when you're further from the tropics is that the sun hits you at a lower angle. So the sun hits more of your body at once, instead of just the roof, as it were. In addition, because nights are shorter, there's less time to cool down. So, like, you basically get... The sun becomes a more tangible enemy, effectively, because they stick around longer, and they hit you right in the face, you know? Also, the temperature shift is just absolutely nuts, man. It went from nothing to woo to nothing again. Good gravy. Is anyone following soccer? All I've been hearing about soccer is that this World Cup has been depressing. Everything I hear is, oh man, it sucks. They kick a little can down the road. Oh, a whole bunch of people are freaking pissed about the Netherlands versus Morocco, or that one Spain versus Cap Verde. Like everyone is pissing themselves. But thanks to Nestle, we're now tropical. Nestle decided to bring over all that so that one day they may come over here and start their own banana republics. I'm thinking of Chiquita. Someone's gonna make those bananas. But it's been a couple of minutes. I think we've warmed up enough by this point. I think we've warmed up enough by this point. I do want to take care of something real fast, just to say that I took care of it. And then we can actually properly get going. Pop 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 pop. And then I can close all that, and then I can just have my little window open. That's all fine, all good to go. All right. Qatar versus North Korea ended in 3-1. A lot of people are going to end up wiped out. Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't even watch or care about much of it, but it is really like evaporating into the air, and I'm forced to contend with it. I'm not allowed to ignore it because everyone is so annoyed about it. Every single person I talk to is like, nah, it's not really a very exciting or fun match, Just kind of kick the can. And, Safi, you know, if you know, you know, you know. If you know, you know, you know. And if you don't, well, then you don't, All right, let's get going. If I recall correctly, last time we went to church and we did some church stuff. And because Win is a good boy, he did all right. And we gave some hugs and kisses and all that fun stuff. And now it's a month later. How long have we been here? Like a couple of months by this point? We've been here a while. It's in the middle of March and the weather has become slightly less cold. Oh dear goodness, slightly. However, now also comes the rain, and with it my favorite early morning mist. Morning fog sticking around for most of the day has become the norm the past few days. Get out of here, Anon. As a result, the general mood among the elderly that I shuttle around every Sunday is a miserable one. They often complain about how dreary and cold everything is, or how it makes their joints hurt. But I find these grey mornings to my liking. It's perfect for stealing! I've always found the obscurement it provided. I always found the obscurement it provided to be beneficial during my previous occupation. And it's calming for me to look out the window into the endlessly deep, swirling fog. Everyone has their preference, I suppose. I forgot. Forgot the little guy. True to Claudia's words. Oh man, look at that kerning. That R is taking shelter. True to Claudia's word, the number of charity drives have alleviated a bit. So I've. Oh, she's shaking. Is her phone going off? Dude, turn your phone vibration down. So I've had a string of days off from running errands for St. Sadler's. Morning, Mr. Wynn. Good morning. Good morning. This darn uniform. Well, good morning, Wynn. Looking forward to another day off. I suppose. I forgot what Wynn's voice was. I forgot what everyone's voice was. I know that he sounds like a detective when he's doing his little narration spiel. Would you like me to do anything while you and Malcolm are away? Well, I was just did a shopping trip. I can't think of anything. So I guess it's up to you if you want to go somewhere. If you think of something that you need to get, then please remember to lock up before you leave. And speaking of leaving, Malcolm, finish your cereal and come get your coat on. The bus will be here any minute. Okay. Nah, look at him vibrate. Why did you put your phone in your child? Please do not duct tape your vibrating phone to a child. Look at him. I like how he's just watching. He's like, oh man, that kid really can't eat, huh? Jesus. Malcolm proceeds to then shovel the entire remainder of his breakfast into his mouth and chugs down the milk shortly after. Man's got strong bones, I guess. Meanwhile, I set my sights on making a cup of coffee. Done! Win, can you wash this for me? Oh, across. Thanks, Win! I take the bowl and in short order it's clean and my coffee is poured and the bus arrives. I cock my ears and listen closely to the goings on and do not get telescopic ears, you motherfucker! I will get mad! Okay, sweetheart, have a good day at school. You too, Mom! See you later, Win! I turn and give a quick farewell. Oh my goodness, he has a Sprite with a cup of coffee. I give a quick farewell gesture to the boy in response. Claudia plants one last affectionate kiss upon the boy's forehead before watching him go out and board the bus. I still feel fucked up over the fact that apparently they're not doing voice acting for Encore. Like, I know why, but I'm like, isn't that like half the fucking project? God! After he was safely away, Claudia spares a nary a moment to offer a departing wave before she sets out after him. Good day, Win, and don't do anything crazy. I will. I mean, I won't. I won't? I don't know. As the door closes, I listen to the car drive off and take a nice deep drink of my coffee. Alone at last. Why you like this, Win? Please make out with this cup of coffee. Alone at last. Recent SnootCon, they said they have VA. They keep switching. Jesus Christ! Pick a lane! Now to get to work. Man, I love that MS Paint background. It's so... I love how they didn't get the lines perfect. Like, they're trying to do depth, but they... Taking another sip of my mug as I enter my room and open up the closet. How the hell is the art like one of the last things you finish on this project? Especially a background that commonly used. Or is that just enough? I don't know! Oh my goodness, they mirrored it! They mirrored the doors! I mean, fair enough. Who cares? I only noticed because I was, like, thinking. With no time available to me to my lighter working load, I started my own little investigation. Without knowing exactly how long Claudia has been receiving these phone calls or how much longer she'll last, I elected to take a more proactive solution. Neither my... Oh, hell yeah, we got the Cool Boy song just kicking in. Neither my parents or hostess nor her priestly confidant are willing to just give answers, so I'm left with this. Which is probably for the best in any case. Probably. And quite frankly, it is the only way I know how to help. I'm a thief by trade, after all. I'm not big on asking permission to go through other people's things. But something I wasn't expecting was how angry I started getting after each of these calls. Seeing her continue to suffer because of this is infuriating. More so because she won't do anything herself. It has to stop for her sake. I've been making steady progress sorting through these during the recent weeks. But there's still a lot to go through, and my process of sorting through the boxes slows down things a bit. I make a point to put everything back as close to how I found it. From how the box was stacked all the way to how the box's contents were. Jesus Christ, man, really putting those thiefy skills to use. I hope they don't make you suck in Deadly Shadows, buddy. I'm fairly certain that Claudia hasn't looked in any of these for some time. Nor would she do so while I'm staying here. Would the second game not be called the Middle Age, but the Bone Age? The Stone Age, yeah! But I was sloppy once, and I won't make that mistake again. Get me my Win Thief mod. With dozen or so boxes crammed into the closet, with the ones I already gone through close to the top. After extracting those, I grab a new box, open it up, get comfortable, and get sorting. Oh, this is some really nice art. I mean, it's not the most exciting art, but it's got a little energy to it. Which is nice, just so neat. Right after I finished playing Deadly Shadows with its 3 expansions. You're nuts. Nuts, I say. I took my time to read through and analyze the contents of each one. Also, this makes this shadow look so much more aggressive than it really is. I scrutinized every photograph, every paper, and made note of every object. Usually takes an entire day to clear a couple of boxes. But without knowing what could be a clue, I have to be thorough. The contents of the box already sorted through were a mishmash of both Claudia and Malcolm's things. I really do like that because of how his face is pure black, they have to use white for shit. Like, it really looks kind of cool to have the white outlines like that. Most of the answers belonging to Malcolm seem to be things from his early infancy. There were almost no pictures, however. The only one I found was as Malcolm is a newborn in Claudia's arms, with December 2019 penned on the back. It's hard to imagine the kid not existing more than 5 years ago. Man, that is a really short time span. Not sure I want to imagine it either. I've grown rather fond of the little guy. I can't believe that if I time travel back in time 5 years, he'll stop existing. I shouldn't time travel if I can help it. Man, he's gonna show up at like the Isekai land. He's like, oh fuck. What about Malcolm? It's like, oh, are you a parent? It's like, no. I just really like the little guy. He's such a cute little sport. Man, I was gonna be there for his like high school play and everything. I already had it planned out. Claudia's things, meanwhile, most seem to be old clothes and schoolwork from her days at high school. Wow, she kept that shit? Textbooks, worksheets, journals, notebooks, all the things giving a window into another life she used to lead. Judging from the work alone, she was very talented and worked pretty hard. What graded papers she kept reflected this, as did her very tight note-keeping habits. Pages upon pages of efficiently summarized notes, all organized with exceptionally neat handwriting. I might be able to use these as a basis for magical education if I want. Magical education? Safi's not a wizard. Hours tick by as I delve into box after box. Then I hit my pay dirt! One of the boxes at the bottom of the stack seems to be from her first year at medical school. She was apparently 19 at the time, going by the student ID I found tucked into the corner of the box. The ID marked her as part of an internship program for St. Hammond's General Hospital. I dig through the contents with renewed fervor, sensing that I finally found what I was looking for. Her style of note-taking proved to be quite a boon, as she dated all of her various papers and assignments. Or had dated, as it turned out. At some point, the quality of her notes declined sharply, and she stopped attaching the date. A quick glance, it seemed that the quality of the notes degraded as time went on. I spent hours tracking the course of the degradation until I last found its source and could chart a timeline. Holy shit, that's so cool! I mean, that is something that this guy could pull off, I imagine. Like, of all people, he's got the skill set for it. 6 hours ago, Claudia has been scouted by St. Hammond's General Hospital's internship plan. Jesus Christ, double possessive? Ew. She was put under tutelage of a Dr. Denovian in some sort of apprenticeship position. Denovian sounds familiar? Alright, I need to look back at some of the text so that we know if we're missing anything because of our cool bullet points. If you're not attached enough, he's like, oh no, this will drive you out of my hideout and put an end to Xanvier's protection. If Claudia has a breakdown. I think that's cute. I mean, I feel like if there was nothing you could do and she freaks the fuck out, right? I feel like Claudia would like Xavier would be like, nah, it's a shame, buddy, but I can't exactly hold you responsible for that. Also, if you're attached enough, he'll be like, oh man, I'm gonna miss Malcolm. Otherwise, he doesn't even bring it up. Donovan. As the weeks went on, the notes became less clinical, less professional, more focused on a new mentor than work. Man, Donovan. Oh, my Donovan. Soon after, they had emotional, even downright romantic inflections, complete with hearts of poetry and the sappy poetry in the margins. Ew! I love how you can see the like date, and then it's like, oh man, he's so cute. About 2 months after meeting this Denovian, get this Dr. Kevorkian out of here. It's about when she stopped dating her work and the degradation began. The lovey-dovey notes in the margins began to take over entire pages, until they suddenly took on a far more worrisome tone. Notes about feeling sick, needing to get checked up started to appear. Then the love poetry was replaced with questions asking, what am I gonna do? What do I oh shit, did she have a baby? Is this where the baby shows up? Shit. The last page of Claudia's first years of medical school, as far as I could tell, had but a single line. I have to tell him, today he'll know what to do. Oh my god, you had... Dude! Listen, I can accept having a bastard child. I can accept a lot, and sloppy notes, but not extra notes. The rest of the pages appear to have been ripped out. This is it. This is what I need. Not just a story, but the name. Dr. Denovian. Very nice. Very unique name. It should be easy to track down. And now that I have this, I may be able to do something about those calls. Hopefully without revealing myself. Or endangering Claudia and Malcolm. Now that I have everything I need, I can clean this up and confer with Father Xander. Wham! Oh my god, win. Oh god, this is gonna suck. Minnie sent me home early today. Oh hell! Are you still here? Oh shit! Oh frick! Oh beans! Man's losing it. I had precious few seconds before Claudia rounded down the hallway and discovered me elbow deep in her personal belongings, doing precisely what she told me not to do. I gotta act quickly. Anyway, the options. Hold on. Slam the door shut. It may be a bit rude, but it's better than her finding out that I've been picking through the remains of her past. We're gonna go out the window, of course. It's the only sane out. Wait, do we get a different win every time? Because it is just this. Because of course we're not gonna get away with it. Win is good at his job, but he's a bit of a chump sometimes. We didn't get away with it when Alfonso was gonna bite our head off. How we get the only sane option? And the other one's like keep her busy in the hallway, but swing over feet, make my move, and trip over one of the boxes and crash into the floor. Time for Plan B to get his payday 3. Win, what was that? Are you okay? Oh, we'll win. Dear God, you idiot! I can see it in her eyes that her mind is already coming to the realization of what it was doing. The expression in her face tightened something that can only be described as hurt. What? What are you? What is this? Oh no! Is that survival guide? Get out of here! Oh my god. Ugh, Win. I love how rough the artwork. It really is like you fucked up, buddy. You fucked up, buddy. Let me guess. We're gonna get a choice of like, do we kiss her on the lips? It looks like she's still trying to process what she's seeing. Maybe a chance to get out of this without alarming her. I just have to say the right thing. Well, we obviously are gonna pick the honest option because it's really fucking obvious. Let's see. What do we get if we pick the? What do we? Oh, we get a little song apparently. Have I heard this song before? Apparently we have. I like it though. Anyway, worth a shot. In this case, reception. I was cleaning. I bumped and they fell out. I tripped over. Sharp in Claudia's face. Instead of anger, she seems to let that sink in. She knows by her reaction that it wasn't the truth, and I'm feeding her a meme. Oh no! Oh yeah, it is the Pipit. It is the Pipit. Oh my god. Oh my god. I really do like, right, how in this story characters are very much aware, because Win is not good with social stuff. His deception skills are limited. So I really do appreciate that he fucks it up, and she's like, no, I'm gonna play along. Get some lunch together. She's willing to sweep it all under the rug, not to have to deal with it, so she doesn't have to, fine by me. When you don't understand, that's why she's getting fucked up! Oh god. Oh god! Oh man, I love how this one goes. With that, he packed the closet back up during the process, risks a glance. It's a well-worn expression. It's the same sure look when she first met. Someone who has to put on the strong face for years when they're not. Oh no! And his stomach starts churning and he's really bad. It's like a reflex. But if you have enough attachment points, he's like, it'll work out. She's happier this way. I've said a girl won't do this much. The mental reassurances don't do much. I feel too few stories are willing to like go the direction of like I'm trying my best but I can't. Repeat the phase with it's for the best. It's for the best. Then they're done. If you're attached enough, her voice mirrors the look of resignation on her face. It's for the best. Oh god. Man, if you have enough attachment points, you just have to be a dishonest dick. He just fucking. Apparently, though, if you're attached enough, I'll make it up to her. We're treating it to more than just a fine lunch. And he goes to get some extra cash. Oh, man. Damn, dude! I really do like it. But we're a good boy. We're a good boy. We told the truth. There's no... There's no way to hide what was happening. Hold on. There's no way to hide what was happening here. Trying to tell a lie at this point would be, well, man, he looks so sad. Win? Claudia, I can explain. Win, please, no. I know you told me not to, but these calls, something has to be done about them. I know he's threatening to take Malcolm away from you. Oh, apparently if we didn't tell her about the calls. I know about the harassing phone calls. Man, that's interesting. I know he's threatening to take Malcolm away from you, but you can't keep living like this! And you weren't willing to take action or talk to anyone about it, so I had to figure out things on my own. The calls aren't going to stop, Claudia. It's only a matter of time until Malcolm figures out what's happening. He already knows something is wrong. Something needs to be done. I'm just trying to help you and Malcolm. I hate seeing you in pain like this. How? Whoa! I like how this art looks alright, and then it's like, oh, man. Anatomy. Never heard of her. Look at that on that right arm. That is so struggling from, like, the complexities of having to draw. Like, shoulders suck, right? Your torso is technically in the way of your shoulder, because your shoulders are technically slightly behind your chest cavity. So, like, your chest sticks outward, your shoulders go backwards. So they're kind of hidden from most angles, especially if you got tits, or moobs, or particularly large pectoral muscles. How dare you! How dare you think this is okay? What makes you think you have any right to violate my privacy like this? Whatever problems I have are mine to solve, not yours! I've been handling it. If I wanted for your help, I would have asked for it. I'm not stupid. I know you aren't telling me everything about where you came from, but I still opened my home to you. I trusted you. So where the hell do you get off digging through the worst part of my life? Like you have any goddamn right to it? A life that I tried desperately to move away from. To just... What? She's shaking. Get with the vibration though. Win has alerted the witch. He sure has. Just put it behind me so I can raise my son in peace. Get out. Just get out. I feel like this is a good enough excuse that you can go to Xander and be like, hey, Xander, I tried my best, but she kicked me out. Can I go? I don't bother arguing against the command. I just nod and begin collecting what few things I have. I even bought this collection of anime figures on the recommendation of some guy I met online. Him and Stegoslav said I'd feel better once I had them, but... doesn't take long to throw the few shirts in my possession into the money bag and make my way to the front. Claudia waits by the door, barely holding back a tidal wave of emotion. She fucking didn't, man. She screamed already. I briefly considered telling her that I'm heading back to St. Hadler's, but I decide against it. At this moment, I don't think she particularly cares. The most I can do is attempt one apologetic look towards her. One small, feeble attempt to communicate that I'm sorry. But she doesn't look at me as I walk out the door. Dude, don't you have access to the van? I thought you parked that outside. I guess it wasn't. Man. I can't believe we're in Silent Hill now. And so I begin the longest 15-minute walk of my life. I barrage myself with admonishments and questions the entire time. Funny how today, of all days, she decides to come home early. Was the search really worth it? It certainly felt like the right thing to do. Well, before she caught me. I think it's pretty clear that she doesn't want to see me again. Otherwise, apparently this is an attachment thing. Let's see. I wonder if Father Santa will let me stay if it tell him what's happened, maybe. This isn't particularly his fault. He better. This is partially his fault. He asked me to help, didn't know what to do, find out yourself, he says. I mean, I feel like alternative version of you is right here. He's built like an upside-down triangle. Excuse you? You mean a funnel? He's not. He's not an upside down pyramid. He's a funnel. I think it's pretty clear she doesn't want to see me again. Am I even gonna try and help her? I'd like to. I can't just leave her in that situation, especially now that I made it worse by going behind her back. It's convincing her to even speak again to me again that's the issue now. I wonder how Malcolm will react when I'm not home. What will Claudia say to him? So does he have to put on sunscreen, or does his like permanent shadow protect him from the sun too? Will she even tell him about any of this? Well, she just said that I ran away from home, found a new one. The feeling in my stomach was the feeling like my stomach was filled with lead only increases the more I think clunk about it. What a mess. The entire last little thing with I'd like to does not happen if you don't have enough attachment. Which I think is cute. Oh, wait! There's a whole scene we skip out on? Jesus fucking Christ, there's a whole goddamn scene that happens. I thought we were gonna go to lunch after this, but no, we're going back to. Jeez, how far is this? So we're at like. Okay. That's like 600, 700 lines. So this chapter just has a hard split point. Oh my god, we're gonna have to go through this. I'm sorry. Oh, it's sunny in the other one. Blatant lie, didn't sit well in the stomach. Italian restaurant. I've never had fresh pizza before. Yeah, Win. We know. Win offers to drive. Oh, oh no. I'd like to treat you to lunch. Allegedly famous pizza place. Oh no, she's like, no, they said it was more authentically Italian. It's the only pizza place I know about. Oh no. But I like it. Oh man, I don't like this. I love how this entire scene is tainted by the shadow of deception. With a shrug, they go inside as we enter. Freshly baked pizza. Pizza cave. Oh no, they didn't go to Moe's! My man, you can make up any relationship, but you have to go to Moe's! Well, let me see if I can find the background. Because we're going to miss out on this whole fucking location like this. Oh, God, it's a Pizza Hut. Oh, no! You should take her to Moe's! The arcade games. The staff looks eerily familiar. Who the fuck is NA9? Probably in the miscellaneous box. Rando? Who the fuck is N9? Whatever, anyway, it's the... Oh, it's Rando Daisy. There we go. It's actually fucking Daisy from Mario. What the hell? Yeah. Yeah, this is like a whole fucking scene. What do you think, when you think Malcolm would like to have a party, or... Sometimes these franchise chains just crank up the price. And if I take Malcolm here, want to go again, you know how he gets. Once he likes something, he'll just obsess over it. Win is like, I'll take care of it. Claudia seems in a happier move. It seems like there's streets of desperation. She's talking about Malcolm a bit more than usual. Maybe focusing on him as a coping mechanism. And if you've got attachment points, he's like, oh no, I'm manipulating. I'm being a jerk. Birthday isn't until December. So don't worry about it. It will not happen during the video game. Just a week after mine. Oh man. Apparently she buys like gifts for him once a year and then gives him half a birthday. Oh, that's so weird. Oh no, because he's in December, so it's like you might as well. Yeah, that's so weird. That's gotta suck, man. If your birthday's that close to Christmas, he's good like that. But the last time he asked me why Santa didn't bring anything, what do you tell him? That I got him for Christmas the year he was born. I never want anything else. Oh my god. Oh no, because she doesn't get anything. Particularly emotional floodgates. I need to steer this conversation towards something less upsetting. Instead of the fact that she's fucking poor. Jesus Christ, this scene is so depressing. I love how the mood is optimistic, but the context is like, ugh. I'm thankful for the silence. Ugh. I love how this scene, like, he just tells something's wrong. And I love how expansive it is. This is so much fucking work. Claudia was right. Franchises upcharge a bit. Fortunately, I got plenty of cash. $35 for a medium pizza? They're not even that expensive here. And that's before the tip. I can get a whole gas station pizza for like 10. What the fuck happened? Never to pay for those orders I picked up. Oh my god, you fucking thief. It's all steep for a single veggie lovers. Veggie lovers, because they got meat lovers, I guess. A pull of the money set it on the table. Goodness gracious, that much? I just shrug. Thank you for paying. Wow, I guess you weren't kidding about your job. God damn. That's a lot of money. It's singles, Claudia. It's all singles. Why do you think it looks like so much? I had to go to Xander's to change out the fucking Benjamins for singles, because that's all he had. All of the money I stole is Benjamin's, Claudia. I can't buy anything without looking weird. I have all the money, but I look super awkward buying anything. Gotta find some new clothes while we're at it. Pizza Hut Taco Bell combination. What an idea. Oh no. Unfortunately, Kalia guides me towards Little Trudon. She says it's close by and has a wide variety of brand stores, big and small. Also, I heard still streets markets too. Mind is racing, trying to think of some way without alerting her, but don't want her to. Oh man. Man, he's so judgmental about Little Trudon. Shit, where did it go? God damn it, hold up. I need to extract something. There we go. There we go. It certainly looks like a well-kept market area. It's probably still a center for thieves, scam artists, and other merchants of ill repute. Probably got more subtle and polite about their business. Filter selected. Oh man, a white dress, a Scandinavian design, a snow globe of a caroling family. Filter selected dozens of toy cars, shirts. Dang, dude. Feeling a small smile as I praise it. Oh, it's a small keychain ornament with a miniature steering wheel. Damn it! Now I just need a keyring to attach it to. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so another thing I noticed, if you have enough attachment points, there's like a little thing where he looks at the gift differently, the little keychain. But if he has no attachment, he says we will return to her house. But if you have attachment points, he's like return home. Oh, that's so cute. That's such tiny details, man. Tiny fucking details. I find myself small smile goes unnoticed by Claudia in the face. Such a oh man, man, Jesus Christ, what a long ass scene. Dropped off from school at Tiffany's. Oh, it's the phone call that happens then. I love how that happens right as he comes back. Just a reminder of everything that happens. This is particularly. Oh man, what a scene. Caught unprepared, but she wraps her arms around me. But I'm not so dull to not know. She just needs someone to hold on to. Man, why can't he just leave us alone? Attachment points are high enough. I like how honesty. Oh, there's honesty. We're so close to being happy. Then a bat starts to ruin everything. Honesty is enough. Then man, I love how he's like, I don't. It has to be me. And if he's not honest enough, he's like, I'm gonna shoot the guy. He's just like, no, not yet. But I could shoot him. That might solve the problem. Um, but now we know more about the Dr. Kevorkian, is that he's a doctor. And it's fairly likely that Malcolm is out of wedlock, so he just has a reputation he's worried about, which feels a bit plain, considering the outlandish scenario that's haunting Wynn, but maybe they're trying to balance it out. All she really has is her friends from church. Figure it out, what am I going to do? Go to Claudia. But now the message is over. Dang, dude. Anyways, gotta go get... Okay, then it goes to Chapter 4 progress, which I imagine is like the convergence point. Which would be weird, but okay. I barely feel the chill in the air as I walk. If you're attached but not honest, oh god, if you're not on, I guess the honesty points are also like, has he left a criminal life behind him? Like, has he become a decent person? The attachment is like, does he like the family? And honesty seems to be, does he so criminal? Because here's like, a new series of thoughts are flooding into me. Numerous ideas and plans are how I'm gonna find this Denovian, and I'm gonna hurt him. Hurt him like you hurt Claudia. Make him cry. Keep these thoughts all the way up to Tiffany's, and now we get to where we are. And there is a variable that tracks this. Whenever we went to church. During a long walk back, the fog finally gives way to the midday sun. I take it as a good omen, if not for what just happened. Eventually, I round one last bend, and there's St. Sattler's that comes into view. As whatever passes for my luck seems to have it, I spot Father Zandon lingering next to the entrance. It saves me the trouble of having to find him, I suppose. No, it's because narratively speaking, that's unsatisfying and boring. Just get to the fucking conversations, to the shit happening. Father Xander. He probably thinks you're leaving if you're out with the duffel bag. I like to imagine that Xander's like, what the fuck do you think you're doing, buddy? Sport. Oh, my, Win. I wasn't expecting to see you so Sunday. And I see you carrying your things. Has something happened? Oh, I was expecting this to be like, if you have enough honesty, he would be... If you don't have enough honesty, he'd be more suspicious. But no, this is just his answer. Yeah. Claudia found me searching through her old notebooks. I told her what I was doing and why, and she did not take it well. Oh dear. Come on inside. We could talk about it in the sanctuary. Now, tell me what happened. Taking a moment to unburden myself, I take a breath as I compose my thoughts. Stop taking! Once I'm ready, I begin. I explained to the elderly priest about the calls, how they were affecting Claudia, how Malcolm was beginning to take notice, and how nothing was being done to stop them. How I was getting angry at not being able to do anything. How I couldn't stand seeing Claudia being so willing to let it happen. Oh, only if we're attached do we mention that we're angry. The nun scene from Red Dead. How I couldn't stand seeing Claudia being so willing to let it happen. I also confessed that this protectiveness towards Claudia is a new emotion for me. And I tell him how I made a decision to look through the things, and that about my discovery, the shouting, and my currently exiled status. Father Xander listens patiently as I speak, nodding occasionally. When I concluded, he lets out a sigh and moves to sit next to me. Well, I got kicked out of a house too, so that makes two of us, buddy. As he does, I ask him the all-important question that's been haunting me on my way over here. Did I do the right thing? The aged ankylosaur takes a moment to consider the question. He then gives me a reassuring pat on the shoulder. If we do not have enough attachment, he's like, what happens now? And you still get pat, but he still like consider, but doesn't give a reassuring pat. That's cute. It's the little things, man. It's the little fucking things. Time will tell. That was not particularly helpful. My expression must have communicated my thoughts to the priest, as he just continues on. Telling people the truth very rarely makes them happy. For example, he holds aloft the crucifix around his neck and presents it to me. To those living a life full of lies, the truth is too painful to hear, let alone speak. It only gets harder when it involves telling those we love something they don't want to hear. You're a good man when... Or getting them to admit something. So very often, it's the case that being honest about other people's problems is easier than being honest about our own. It's very difficult in the moment to know if causing them pain is the very right thing to do. But it's always better to live in the truth, no matter how painful or how inconvenient it may be. For what it's worth, I do think you did the right thing. Or at least the start of the doing of the right thing. Confronting Claudia with the problem may not have worked out well, but it's a step in the right direction. Just give Claudia some time. She may eventually appreciate your attempt to help her and her willingness, and your willingness to come clean, or she may not. She won't be wrong. She isn't wrong to be upset. I seem to recall you snooping around may not be the best of ideas. I seem to recall telling you snooping around. Okay. You did, but you didn't tell me any alternatives either. She refused to talk about it. What else was I supposed to do? I was hoping she would come to trust you enough to just open up about the issue. But perhaps there really was no other option. Sometimes the Lord helps those in need. Sometimes the way the Lord helps those in need is to create conflict like this, to throw their failures in their faces. I wish I knew for certain it would all work for the best to win, truly. But most of the time, the right thing in life is just making the best with the hands we're dealt. I used to play poker, you know. Not a particularly reliable method. When I appreciate how close you've gotten to Claudia, I'm quite happy about it, in fact. I think it's good for both of you. Now get married, you two! Heavens, no, she's been telling Minnie about how much she likes having you around. Who, of course, then tells me about it. That being said, I think it's time you came clean with her. Attachment is required for Minnie to be told. It's unlikely she'll want to speak to me again. For the time being, I'd say that's a sure bet. But give her some time to cool down. And maybe with some prodding from Mimi and myself, she may be willing to hear you out. And then what? What if she refuses? Well then, I suppose it's up to you. If you want to keep trying to help her, I'll aid you in any way I can, even if she may not appreciate it. But you've made an attempt as I asked you to. So as far as I'm concerned, you've kept your side of the bargain. I won't blame you if you want to focus on your own issues. I'll still help you with that if you decide to stay. Man, why is Father Sanders such a cool guy? Because I kind of expected him to be like, nah, go fuck yourself. But he's like, nah. Which ended up picking it up. And because you may need something else to think about, I think I'll go give some of those friends of mine a call, see if there's anything that may be of concern for you. In the meantime, feel free to stay as long as you like. I hope you don't mind going back to sleeping on the couch. I promise it hasn't gotten any less comfortable since your last day. A small involuntary tug at the corners of my mouth, briefly leaving a small smirk into existence. Only for attached do we have small smirks. Otherwise, he nods his head in understanding and lets them depart. It'll do. Not the worst thing I've slept on. With a slight chuckle of amusement, Father Xander gives me a slight nod and leaves me in the sanctuary. Left alone with my thoughts, I am left debating with myself about what to do. Whatever I still wanted to help Claudia sort out his issue with her life, whatever she means more to me than just a convenient place for me to hide. But this is a big section that only happens if you have attachment. There's so many little moments where attachment is important. Sleeping on the couch with bonus trauma and steps. Don't we all? Don't we all? Considering the absolutely wretched feeling I have in my stomach, I'd say so. My time with her was the first time I've ever started to feel like I had a home. And there are all these feelings that I didn't have before that I don't know what to do with. So getting to a point where I haven't thought about the money as being important in what feels like weeks. It may be a case of out of sight, out of mind, but despite having a gang out to find and kill me, I think I care more about her problem than mine. I wonder if she'll feel the same way if I tell the truth about me. All her issues are small potatoes compared to mine. Maybe we'll have a good laugh about it later around the dinner table, if she ever wants to see me again. The back and forth of thoughts does little more than tire me out. I decide to lay down and get some rest. Ah, there it is. The blanket is here. The blanket! It turns into a burrito instantaneously. I remember this being more comfortable. Maybe it was because I was barely lucid when I was here before. This is all part, by the way, of the section that only happens. There's just time that is gone. A few days later, I've tried to occupy myself with tasks around the church to distract myself from the regret and guilt and worry I feel. Regret about what happened with Claudia, and about what I'll say to her when we meet again. Suffice to say, I wasn't sleeping well. I'd grown accustomed to 3 home-cooked meals a day, and returning to my previous habits wasn't helping. Scrounging meals from convenience stores and gas stations wasn't as filling as it used to be. Not just from the lack of nutrition, but the lack of company, too. I've come to realize just how lonely I had been before meeting Claudia. You have to remember, the thing about pulling weeds is... Now, don't grumble. Manual labor's good for your character. And good for your soul. If you say so. Could do without the commentary. I am providing spiritual guidance in the form of supervision. Father Xander. It's the licorice lady that I want to eat. There you are. I want to talk to you about... Oh, Mr. Doe. Oh, dear. Wait, oh, dear. She looks upset. I mean, why wouldn't she? She's Claudia's best friend. Miss Minnie? No, Minnie, we talked about this. Oh, I remember. But I'm entitled to be a little upset when a man makes my friend so upset that she calls me late at night calling a hoe. And Lord help me, I'm not going to sit by and let you walk away like that damn doctor did. Not without giving you a piece of my mind first. You know about Malcolm's father, too? Yeah! I was the one who found her at the mission all those years ago. She told Father Xander and I about what happened to her. And the shame on you for scurrying around her back and digging through her things. She's just in your age group, hidden fan artist in chat. You know what to... Oh, no! I just mean that she looks tasty and edible. Like a little candy. I've shown you the evidence. Oh. I do remember being somewhat tight-lipped before when I asked about Claudia way back when. I should have asked you about the phone calls. The phone calls? What phone calls? The harassment calls? From Malcolm's father? Excuse me? Like how Father Sanders, like, huh? Oh my god! I saw like, oh, like, what? I teleported. I hope it was nothing personnel. Excuse me? When? Oh, shush! You talk! I guess she couldn't have been privy. I just guess she hadn't been privy to that info. Man, I love how much the characters are moving around. They're like actually using the fucking art for something. Hidden tension. I glance towards Father Xander for some kind of guidance, but all I get replies an apologetic shrug. I guess it's up to me then. With the tall, ceratopsid woman looming over me and no objections from Father Xander, I tell Minnie all I know about it. How I like ladies in turtlenecks and sweaters and sweater dresses, and how she's totally my type. And honestly, I haven't married Claudia yet, so I can still make a change of plans. And I don't remember anything that happened from that point forward other than waking up 6 feet under, buried in dirt, and Xander saying something about taking time to dig me back up. He said the funeral was lovely. Okay. With a tall ceratopsid woman looming over me and no objections from Father Xander, told me all I know about it. I learned about the calls, the threats made to Claudia and Malcolm, my talks with Father Xander about the situation, how he was forced to remain silent, how I tried to talk to Claudia about the calls, as well as how she asked me to forget about it happening. Why is he bouncing? He's just doing a little bounce. We don't get that if we don't talk to Claudia. And now I came to my decision to at last search through the boxes in the closet. After I wrap up my explanation, there's a pregnant pause as I wait for Minnie's response. This has nothing to do with the sex I intend to have later, which may or may not result in... Oh my god, could you just shut up for 5 seconds? Your narration is so goddamn loud! Yeah, I was going to talk to you about modulating your volume a little bit, Win. Like, it's weird when Anon does it, but Jesus Christ. You're trying to make it everyone else's problem. As I wrap up my explanation, there's a pregnant pause. I wait for Minnie's response. Well, thank you for telling me all this, Win. I was not aware that Claudia was dealing with all this. I can't believe she's been keeping something like this from me. And refusing help from people she knows love her. It just makes me so... I can't believe she'd do something so stupid. And I love how he's still involved in the conversation, the old man. Keeping something like this for selfish is so... Oh! The large lady stifles her outburst and takes a deep, calming breath. And with a deep exhalation through her nostrils. If you tell me you like my nostrils, I will choke you to death. When owe you an apology? I was all set to bite your head off for what you did. But it looks like you didn't have much of a choice, did you? I need to have a talk with her about this later during the week. Is that wise? She didn't listen to me of other Xantha. Also, I kind of told... She'll be pretty pissed at me for telling you this. I don't think that's gonna go well. Oh, she'll listen to me. If not me, then the Lord. Because I'm gonna be praying up a storm for some intervention on her behalf. Father Xander's like, oh my god, Minnie, I told you that doesn't work. Which is what I suggest we all do. It couldn't hurt. Well, I'm glad that resolved. Is that all you're here for, Minnie? Oh, no, actually. I come over to get the schedules made up for the charity festival at the end of the month. And, the pickle was gone. Minnie, I can't help but notice you were walking around in high heels. How the fuck do you walk in mud in high heels? Shouldn't you be sunk all the way to your knees at this point? Well, that's just a magic trick. They teach you that in Resident Evil school before you start shooting people called Leon S. Kennedy. How oddly specific. Yes, the same thing I said. Mr. Picker was gone.
I was going to talk to you about maybe, removing Win from the van duty. But no, I don't think that would be necessary.
I'm glad you've come to that conclusion. Although, depending on how things go between Win and Claudia, you may still have to.
Oh, I guess that's true. I'll just have to make 2 shots. God, that is my fucking angle, right? My kind of woman. If I have to make 2 shots, well, I guess I'm just cursed to make 2 shots. Gosh, Safi. Why does your priest let you make 2 shots? Well, you see, there's this guy from out of town. When I think I should be able to convince her to talk to you this Sunday. I'll be praying that the 2 of you can patch things up. You'd be shocked to know how often and how fondly she talked about you before this little incident. Your father said they mentioned something like that. Well, not to color your expectations, but the way she talked about you seems like she was starting to see you in the light of, more than just a friend. He's blushing! He is blushing! Oh. Really? That's what it sounded like to me. Huh. That sounds nice. I didn't say no 69. What are you talking about?
I told you, Win. You narrate very loudly.
I want you. But I have to go get those schedules drawn up. And then I have to go have a nice long chat with a certain lady. Thank you for being honest with not just me, Win, but also Claudia. For the end.
Manny? That went better than I expected.
What were you expecting to go to?
Oh, yeah, about how protective ceratopsids can be about their friends and family, haven't you?
I've heard some of the stereotypes, but it's not really the fucking time, buddy. Mostly about them getting violent.
Well, let's just say there's some stereotypes of a basis in reality. Also, I'm a racist piece of shit. Oh, come on, I used to have a garden to tend to. Not a thing about pulling weeds is.
Another few days later. My Godwin. Dream. Why the hell does that translate to snoo? Wait, what is it? It's like translation dream, but it's like, what? What are you doing, YouTube? Stop lying to me. Huh. Another few days later. Sunday finally arrived. Sunday. While I've been keeping myself busy, the thought of today has me both excited and terrified me. I haven't seen Claudia and Malcolm in a whole week now. I was left to wonder what their reaction would be once we met. I considered avoiding them altogether, but I wanted to make amends, so I have to confront her eventually. That being said, I did decide to wait until after the service to attempt to talk to her. I think it'd be better to stay out of sight until then by staying in the church lounge. The service went particularly long today, which didn't help me feel any less anxious about what was to come. Oh, when the service is about to wrap up, are you ready?
I believe so.
You nervous?
A bit.
But nothing quite inspires me than being reminded you're goddamn tall! How do you fit through any of these doors? Oh, I don't win. I'm just very good at hiding the fact that I squat very briefly. You want to see the technique? I take a step, but I put my leg down like this so that I can sort of squat under the door. It makes it look like I'm just taking a normal step, but everyone thinks I fit.
Impressive. I'll learn that technique if I ever find myself crawling through ventilation shafts in the future.
When, what did I tell you about your narration? Stop it! Stop it already!
A bit.
How about we say a prayer? We'll just ask the Lord for a little magic to calm the nerves.
Are we okay, or are we piss and vinegars? Apparently this choice doesn't really matter. It doesn't record it in any way, shape, or form. Personally, I'm not into it. And I don't think Win is really into it. You know what? I'll go with a prayer. I think it's just, I feel like Win's a little desperate. He needs a little pep talk, you know. Have you prayed today? Have you told the Lord you're kicking ass in His name? He has a right to know. A prayer.
suppose I am in a church. God is gonna be listening anywhere. Might as well be here in the lounge. Okay. Okay. Now take my hand, you close your eyes, and you open your heart. Now, not like open heart surgery. I don't got ice cubes on me, but I shrug and do this. Oh my god, she's so fucking cute. Not sure I'm supposed to open my heart, but I'll try. I can't believe Win died. His eyes are gone. He's blind. Oh, Heavenly Father, please bestow your spirit of peace on the private window who's in need of your help. We pray to your after Jesus to aid him in mending the bridge with our dear and beloved friend Claudia Grant, so that they may both move forward hand in hand into a place of peace, harmony, and love. Amen. You have to say amen too.
Oh, amen.
Oh, that's so. You feel better?
Yeah.
I knew it would.
Did his jacket move? No.
I knew it would.
It's totally not because I didn't want to hold hands with her. Anyway, otherwise, he's like, are you sure? Asking God's always calms me down. I'm sure that's true for her, but don't think it will do me any good. And he's like, thanks for the offer. I'll be fine. Let's just pray for him. I mean, he proceeds to recite a prayer. I don't really pay attention to it. As my mind was more concerned was how I was going to approach Claudia. Should I talk first? Should I let Claudia take the lead? What if Malcolm is there with her? I should try talking to him first, or make you look like a creep. Yeah, that would look creepy. Don't talk to the kid first. Besides, he'd likely be glued to Claudia's side during Mass, and then headed over to Tiffany afterwards. Sounds like the music stopped.
Now it sounds like the service is over. Good luck, Win.
Yeah, thanks. With a nod, I depart for the parking lot, hoping not to pissed my chance away. I arrive just ahead of the crowd and take a spot where I'll be able to spot Claudia and Malcolm as they leave. Are you near a waterfall? Are we near a waterfall, or did you just forget to edit out the noise? The urge to run hasn't diminished any as the crowds begin to exit out. Luckily, I asked Minnie to put me in a headlock so I can't run away. Thanks a lot, Minnie, but you don't have to choke me.
Oh, that's just because I want to make doubly sure you ain't going nowhere.
Thanks. It'd be easy to slip away with the various crowds. Saurians are nice and bulky, and the ones with the wings is the greatest cover.
Dude, who the hell was that?
But my feet remain planted as the outgoing rush thins out. Fun fact: if you quickly go through this, like they disappear after the conversation box, so that you can kind of or you can read this. It's fine. It's breakfast at Tiffany's, and as the other Saurians move away, I kindly catch sight of Claudia, and my heart skips a beat. The Parasaur woman was in the process of handing her son over to Tiffany and her family to watch for the afternoon. I don't think her family's been involved all that much. Although I guess Tiffany's family would be here at church. Man, he look at that little bounce. When handoff was complete, she stood still for a moment as she watched Malcolm ride away with Tiffany and her family. Once Malcolm was far enough, she began scanning the departing crowd, until her eyes inevitably fell upon me. I don't like how he slips down a little bit. Safi, Wilkins, black licorice war bribe. What does that even mean? Listen, I need you to understand. I'm not. Ugh, you people just don't know what this shit looks like. She looks like candy. I just want to take a big bite. Okay, I guess this is gonna have to do. I guess these are gonna have to do. I can't believe I have to take time out. Here, look. I already showed you these, right? I already showed you these. But there's another one. There's another secret recipe.
You tell me she doesn't look like that. You tell me that that's not her fucking color palette. She looks like a little candy. She looks like a candy. Until her eyes inevitably fell upon me. Man, I should have had a shower. Panic ran through me as our eyes met. Judging by her reaction, it seems that she was feeling the same way. We just end up staring at each other for a while. It's super fucking weird. It was my poking around that caused this whole problem. It's only right that I apologize first. My feet feel like they made us lead as they closed the gap between me and Claudia. Only if we're honest and attached do we get this conversation. Otherwise, you get a whole other fucking dialogue. Dude, this is so much reactivity. Like, sure, it's always like if you do the most things, but it's reactive. It's trying. And it's pretty good at it, too. Like, this is a strong combo, man. A strong kickflip. I love it. You get an applause. My feet feel like the makeup as I close the gap between me and Claudia. Once there, both of us seem to have trouble meeting each other's eyes. I mean, you're both looking the same direction, so. After shuffling our feet for a few seconds, I drove up enough courage to speak. Hello. Why did you have to use this version of Win? You know exactly which version of Win belongs here, right? Where is he? Where's the fucking Win I'm thinking of? Apparently, at some point, Win is in fact going to hug Malcolm. I'm trying to find the fucking art. Where is it? Where's Win? Just no, I don't. No, no, no. What the hell's that? What the hell is happening in this scene? Ugh. Move on, move on. Where is he? Where's the one? Where's the one with like the goofy eyes? What the fuck does Mignola mean? Mignola? Why is his eyes blank? I guess we'll find out later. Okay, I found it. It's apparently just Win normal. Ugh. Why don't we use this Win? Why don't we use the Win where he's just like, hey, I'm looking ahead. I like that one. He's so goofy. Small goof. Hello. Hello, Win. Claudia. I'm sorry for going through your things. Especially after you told me to let things be. And you are right. I haven't been honest with you about who I am. I love how the telling her about the call or not is still coming up. I haven't been honest with you about who I am. I am actually Enrico Ricardo the Fifth, and where I'm from, and it wasn't fair of me to hide that from you. Although I tried to dig up your past behind your back, it was a terrible mistake. I should have dug up your past right in front of you and asserted dominance. See, this is the one he should. Oh man. So I'd like to tell you what I should have had a long time ago. I'll go to church if it means I get to date Minnie. Oh my god, when was that supposed to be narration? No, I think I've just lost fucking track of my life at this point. I've lost control. I haven't driven a car in a while, but man, does it feel like I'm driving across oil slick fields. What does that mean, When? I don't know anymore. And show you the kind of trust that you've shown me until I messed it all up. I extend a shaky hand to Claudia, if you let me. Her eyes glance between me and my hand as she considers it. Did you mean what you said? About what you did for me and Malcolm? About doing what you did for me and Malcolm's sake? Yeah. With a smile that I hadn't seen for what feels like in ages, she takes my hand. Why are you making putty at 3 a.m. in the morning? because I've lost control of my life. Also because Minnie asked me to, and Father Sanders said we're going to sell this at the next charity auction. And honestly, I forgot about it, so it's either now or never, because this needs to take 4 hours to set. Win, that charity is tomorrow. Why are you... whatever. I said I lost control of my life, woman! If I hadn't, I would know it was tomorrow! With a smile I haven't seen in what feels like ages, she takes my hand. Okay, Win, let's go talk. Claudia and I enter back into the sanctuary. We pass by Father Xander and Minnie on the way, and they give him like the thumbs up, like double thumbs up, like yeah. Both of them seem to suddenly find something more pressing to do elsewhere, which left Claudia and I alone. Why is there no one else here? Taking some seats to the center, we sit there in silence for what feels like a few minutes. What? It feels like a few minutes is weird. Why not just like a few messes it up? If I was nervous before, the prospect of telling Claudia everything about myself made me feel exponentially worse. Oh, this is the sanctuary talk. You don't get that if you don't have enough points? Oh, you go straight to the progress mark, which you get if you fucking suck. So if you're not attached and honest enough, you don't even get the good ending. Wow, man! Where did everyone go? Bingo? When, for fuck's sake, I'm so cool, you just don't get it. Father Xander thinks I'm cool. Actually, I think you're a bit of a loser. I've just been nice about it. If you're not honest and attached enough, neither of us know what to do. Once the gap is closed, trouble looking in her eyes. Claudia just gives him straight up another chance. Not to lie to my face when you were caught. That's okay. That's supposed to reflect like other honesty decisions. There's another reason I'm forgiving you as well. I owe it to Father Xander and Minnie not to give up on someone just because they made a mistake. Oh, that feels so bad. So I want an apology from you. If you don't agree with that, and you go back on your word that it's over. If you'd be easy enough to keep that promise, I've gotten the other information I need. The fact that I jeopardized my position with Claudia in the first place by telling the truth still puzzles me. I like how he calls. I love that because he's not attached or honest. It's like as long as if I'm going to continue hiding out, not like living with, hiding out with. Okay, I'm sorry, Claudia overstepped. To put it lightly, you have my word, won't ever happen again, and they're just okay with it. Man, and Malcolm really missed him. Now go get your things so we can get you moved back in. I appreciate that we're reusing the church as like a place to stay for him to stay, so we can have this breakup scene be nice and punchy. Like, good job on reusing the scenario a little instead of people who always move forwards and forget about stuff like that. Opened up to Claudia, true. I've never before. The prospect of telling Claudia everything about myself made me feel exponentially worse. But I said I'd do this, and I meant it. With one final breath, I begin. Oh shit! We got custom ass art, baby! Man, you look very broad in this scene. What follows is a recitation of everything that brought me to her door and who I really am. Or, well, all that I know about myself. My life as a thief, breaking into Alfonsi's restaurant, the grotesque banquet, and my botched escape. How Father Xander found me and how he asked me to help her. How I wasn't hiding. I even told her that I don't even know what my real name is. That Private Wayne Doe never existed. That I could only remember the last 10 years. During which time... Wait a minute! If it's been 10 years, and he doesn't know how old he is... Music, please. Claudia was like 19 in 2019. So that'd be 2014. He came into consciousness when she was 14! Just for context. Every new CTE gets wider. It's just like Unk, who got smaller and more like Kailu. Win gets broader. During which time I was just hopping from one identity to another, making sure never to leave behind any kind of impression or footprint. Nothing that could prove I was ever there. That I'd ever lived. But the hardest part to tell her was how living with her and Malcolm had changed me. I don't know exactly when it started, but ever since living with you and Malcolm, I felt different. Also, because we're in a maximum or high attachment and honesty, it doesn't have to do any edge cases and branches here. Like, I belong there in that house with Malcolm, with you. It isn't just that I feel like I belong. I'm happy being around you, seeing you smile, seeing you happy has become important to me. More important than anything I've ever thought about. I want to protect your smiles. I just don't know how else to say it. I just want to see you hurt anymore. I finally reached the end of what I could think to say. It felt like it took hours to get through everything, and by the end, I felt like I was going to throw up. Looking at Claudia to gauge her reaction doesn't really help matters. It appears to be taking a fair amount of time to process this. Meanwhile, I'm shaking like a leaf in a hurricane as I wait for her to respond. Eventually, though, she lets out a heavy sigh. Man, what is going on with her arm? I like the hand holding, though. But you're hand holding in the house of the Lord, goddammit! Also, because of how she's positioned, she's technically taller than him, I think. No, it's a little bit of height she gained from that. But still. Also, why does her tail have this extra upper line? Her tail is a flat circle, not like a pudgy thing. Although I guess it is pushing against the back wall. Suddenly I feel her arm wrap around mine and she leans into me. She doesn't speak, but her hand finds her way to mine and our fingers intertwine together. I feel as if my heart is ready to leap out of my chest as she nuzzles against me. Thank you, Win. It can't be easy having to tell me all that, let alone living through it. But here you are, still alive. I think I owe you an explanation, Win. Something I should have done a long while ago. If you don't mind listening. Yeah, go ahead. Claudia takes a deep breath and begins. You probably already know by now, or at least can guess, that my parents were strict. They didn't allow me to interact with anything that didn't meet their approval. Playtime was wasted time. No unconstructive hobbies. Friends were only allowed if I could bring something out of them. They were particularly adverse to me interacting with any boys! It's the boys! The way they raised me didn't prepare me at all for a life without them telling me what to do. I've always wanted to be a nurse or a doctor. Even when I was really little, I wanted to save lives, help people. Maybe because my dream of being a doctor was the one thing of mine that my parents actually let me pursue. They only saw it as a prestigious career, but for me it was the one thing I could be genuinely passionate about. Between their strict study regimen and my passion, I didn't even mind being so isolated. As a result, my grades were good enough that I qualified for St. Hammond's General Hospital apprenticeship program. So, at age 19, I got my wish. I finally got to leave home and into the career I always wanted. Wait, so she's 24, right? If around her 20s she got the kid, and the kid is 5 years old, then she's in her mid-20s. But I think we already knew that. It's just dumb. Also, it might actually be getting wider every CG if this is anything to go off. Because look at that fucking arm, man. When I finally got home and finally got to leave home and into the career I always wanted. Moving out from under their thumbs was the happiest day of my life. I thought I could truly start to live my life. Didn't even know how naive I really was. Which is when I met the man that was supposed to be my mentor, Malcolm's father. Then a Dr. Denovian. Wait, what? He isn't a doctor anymore? I felt like he'd still be a doctor. From the moment he saw me, he must have known how easy it'd be. It was all charms at first. Full of, you're beautiful at this, and I love you at that. I fell for him immediately. I believed every word he said. I thought he loved me. It wasn't long before he convinced me to take our relationship to make our relationship a sexual one. What is going on with your shoulders? A fucking right angle, lady. Garrett leaned the force gripped my hand with tightened painfully. Oh man, my hand hurts. That's how he looks. He's like, oh man, my hand hurts. Because he's looking down at his hand. It took a bit of effort not to flinch a response. Always promising to take care of me, and professing his love for me. Soon enough, I was pregnant. Why didn't you take birth control? He's a doctor! Like, he knows how sex works, right? He would at least make you take contraceptives, or at least wear a condom or something, right? After I was sure, I went to him expecting to take responsibility like he said he would. I had a stupid idea that he would marry me. I love that we're going with this extremely classic story of, oh no, he made me pregnant and he loved me and now we're married. And it's going with like, no, no, this prick only cared about his career. He didn't, of course. Instead, he told me to abort the baby and that'll be the end of it. He was so dismissive about it, like he was telling me to fetch the mail or throw away old clothes. The idea was just so repugnant to me. He could talk about killing our baby so casually. I mean, I hadn't born at the time, and honestly, I'm not exactly all that, life begins at conception either, so... Quinn, goddammit, now's not the time! Women, all about politics, am I right? God damn it, Win! What did I tell you? But I get what she means, especially in hindsight, right? Because Malcolm's a cute kid. So it's like, in hindsight, it's even worse. When it gets everything I believed in. I mean, I thought your parents were Asian. What? Well, I mean, with everything and how you were raised, I kind of thought your parents were Asian, and you were like, what, Shinto? What? So for the first time since we met, I told him no. And of course he freaked out because he needs control! Tears began to flow freely, and her voice grew strained as she tried to remember what came next. I begged and pleaded with him to reconsider, to accept that I loved him and the baby was a blessing. And that's when the real Dr. Kevorkian came out. He just started ranting, shouting, and spouting out words filled with such hatred I couldn't believe it was the same man. He told me I wasn't the only girl he was with. Just one of a dozen whores he'd known. Why don't we emphasize whore? Put whores in italics, because I really feel like that's the part that should shake her a little. But I was the only one stupid enough not to do what he said. He threatened to ruin me if I didn't comply, tear down my whole life. So is Xander just in the hobby of helping people who need to hide? He threatened to do everything just short of killing me. But somehow I held firm. I don't know how, but I kept denying him. And then he made good on his threat. Before I knew it, my reputation had been ruined, and I was kicked out of the grounds for violating ethical practices. Just because I ate a man's dog! I never even had a chance to defend myself. Even if I did, it was my word against his. I tried going home, hoping my parents would understand, but he had written a poisoned letter to my parents, painting me as a Jezebel that whored herself out for grades. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Jezebel. You're gonna have to explain that, sorry. Me arriving at the door pregnant was all the evidence they needed to slam the door in my face. To disown me. Claudia went silent for a time. I was wondering why her parents never showed up in the story, but there we go. I could do anything. Watch his tears roll down her cheeks. But eventually, she wiped them all away and pulled herself close to me. Dude, what the fuck happened to her head? She was holding on to me so tightly that my hand and arm began to hurt, but I bore with it. I'm going to suffer problems, lady. It was clear that she was using me as a comforting presence while she relived her trauma. I started walking then. I don't know how long it was before I arrived at the mission, church, but I can't remember exactly what it was. I stayed there for a week. All that time was a blur. I remembered that I did think about aborting Malcolm then. I was such a low point, I thought. If I just got rid of him and I went back to Dr. Denovian, everything could be fine again. But that's when Minnie found me. She saw the state I was in and talked to me. I told her what happened, and then she brought me to St. Sadler's. And then I met Father Xander. Minnie gave me a job. Father Xander gave me a home, and I went through with the birth. Here in the sanctuary. Wait, what, really? Woman, go to a hospital! Oh, no, wait, that's where he works. Oh, yeah, that's where he works, so that's why... Sorry, I know I'm interrupting your little speech a lot, lady, but you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm just glad you're not narrating everything at this moment. Yes, really. It was a week before Christmas, just a week after my own birthday. I remember holding him for the first time. His little body, his hands wrapping around my fingers. Your head looks so huge, woman. Like, I know that's normal, but something about the way the scene is framed just kind of makes Win look kind of teeny. Like, Win looks so small all of a sudden. Despite his broad shoulders and chest. The suffering feels small in comparison. It was all worth it. All of it. For him. But Dr. Denovian found out where I live. About Malcolm. I don't know how, but he did. Ever since he tortured me with those calls. Reminding me of how dirty I am. Okay, can we stop for like 5 seconds? Why isn't Dr. Denovian dirty? Why is it that a man gets to sleep with women and it's fine, but a woman sleeps with a man fucking once, and she gets called dirty and everyone shits on her? This is patriarchy, you fuckers! Anyway, reminding me of how dirty I am. You know the rest, and after you left, I got another call from him. While I was standing there, just letting him turn to me, I realized you were right. I'd been so terrified of him. Terrified he'd take my son away from me. Terrified that he's right about me.
I mean, he's not.
Thank you.
It's for later.
With some heavy breaths to compose herself, she lets out a small laugh of relief. God, it feels good to find that all out. Thank you, Wen. I'm happy to oblige. Oh my God, I just realized how hard I've been squeezing your hand. No, don't worry, it's a robotic prosthetic anyway. She apologetically alleviates the pressure, followed by a chorus of pops from the appendage. Are you okay? I didn't hurt you, did I? No, I'm fine.
Probably.
Upon hearing my confirmation that she didn't break anything, she eased back into a tight hug at my side. We remained sitting together, arms interlinked. Oh, he's blushing again. We sat again quietly, enjoying each other's presence for a time. Although eventually I did feel the need to ask a question. How did Malcolm respond to all this? He must have had questions. I told him you were staying at the church for a while to help Father Xander. I don't think he believed me, but he did raise a fun. Stop lying! Everyone is lying all the time! What's for later, buddy? Tell me what's for later. Is it dinner? He must have picked up on how broken up I was after I told you to get out. Every day after that, he'd ask us, is someone coming back today? I must have realized, I realized almost immediately I wasn't angry at you anymore. I just wanted you back myself. But every day I told him, not yet.
Why?
A small snort of laugh escapes her snout. Well, Win, I may love you, but I figured you still deserve to be grounded for a bit for going through my things.
I suppose I deserved some kind of punishment. Wait, did she say she loved me? Past tense, woman? It's present tense, or I'm out!
Oh, yeah, the show... you know what? We can look that up. When a man says, no, woman, you didn't hurt my hands at all, and his hands...
Didn't hurt them all!
I'm fine.
Did she just say she loved... Wait, sorry, this is the detective voice. Did she just say she loved me?
I suddenly felt soft hands grab either side of me and pull me towards Claudia. No! Don't kiss!
No!
The mini route is off, as is the Father Xander route, as is the Alfonsi route. All the routes are gone. Damn it. Even the fucking, like, Tiffany's mom route is out. You could have been a home wrecker, Win!
Before I knew what was happening.
Oh my God, that's so fucking awkward! Why is this fucking Save Sanctuary song playing? Where do I go to save my... Thank you so much for to save my game. Oh my fucking God, look at him! A pair of scaly and even imaginably soft lips are pressed against mine. And a lot of thoughts came to an abrupt halt. Date Denovian to do the same thing he did to Claudia. I'm time to turn this patriarchy on its head, Claudia. I'm sorry, Win, what are you talking about? I'm gonna make Denovian gay and then date him. And then I'll have sex and make him empreg. And once he's empreg, I can break up with him and call him dirty and get his reputation ruined. Win, I don't know what you mean with empreg, but this... What? You know, I prefer the narration you had before you started trying to help me. Minnie, how many prayers to the Lord is it to get a man empreg? And she's just like, listen, I read a lot of fan fiction and stuff, but I gotta tell you, there's not enough prayers in the world for what you're trying to do here, Buster. Man, look at his eyes. They were instead replaced by the warm, tingling sensation that was spreading throughout my body. Tragically, her lips pulled away, but they certainly left an impression on me as I sat completely stupefied. Well, I think it's time to get you back home. Don't you think? It took me a moment to remember how to speak. Oh, that's a great way to fucking phrase it. Even still, it wasn't the most complex statement. Yeah! Look at the little cutie. Don't you just want to give him pat-pats? Don't you just give him little pat-pats? Here I thought that holding hands and hugging was nice. Man, he's going to fucking die when he has sex. They're gonna have sex and his brain just melts into goo. I can't imagine she wants to have sex. I feel like if any character be asexual, it'd probably be the person who had a sexual relationship and it was the most miserable part of her life. And she forever associates it with potentially aborting her child. Together we strode out of the sanctuary and into the lounge where we gathered my things. I'm not saying she has to, I'm just saying that it's a path you can take and it logically adds up. And after a week, I finally went home. Later that evening... apparently... Okay, so... Oh, Jesus Christ, there's all these fucking... So this is where they meet up, but there is a slight deviation still. My fucking God. My return, in and of itself, was actually a rather subdued affair. Malcolm not being there to greet me probably accounted for that. Claudia had insisted that she'd be the one to pick him up, so that my return was a bit of a surprise. So I sat in the living room. So I sit, with an uppercase I, patiently waiting for her to return the boy. It's almost as nerve-wracking as when I was waiting for her during the service. And here we are. fucking blindsiding me with this poggers. Poggers. Hello, small child. Ah! Aww. He can hug exactly one leg. You're back. I miss you so much. I missed you too. This song is so cute. I like the song. It's so good. Me and Tiffany were worried you moved somewhere else without telling us. Oh, don't worry. I'm not going anywhere yet. Good. I don't want you to move out. I feel the same. I was gone for only a week and it was agonizing. I don't want to go either. So don't worry. I'm back now. Hopefully for a good while longer. Man, the spelling on this is like... You could have pulled this to fucking Google Docs and you could have gotten most of them. I'll try to give you a bit more warning next time I have to step away for a bit. Cool! Come on, I want to share some cool tricks Tiffany taught me. And I'll tell you about the stuff I learned at school. Like, did you know that trees breathe in the stuff we breathe out? Or that there's more oxygen? That the more oxygen there is, the bigger bugs get? Oxygen. And I'd like to hear about it. I can't believe this motherfucker is high on oxygen. The next few days went by were a bit of a pleasant blur. I spent the lion's share of my time with Claudia and Malcolm. Usually sitting with Malcolm while he engages me in rambling talks about the things that he did that day. That, or playing with toys, watching cartoons, or playing video games. He seems intent on involving me in everything he does now, as if he's trying to make up for lost time. It's getting to the point that Malcolm doesn't want to go places or do activities without me. Claudia, meanwhile, has begun spending her time getting closer to me, both literally and emotionally. She talks to me more about not only the various day-to-day things, but also her more private thoughts. Most things at first, like her favorite food and music, but soon she was talking openly about her feelings and confiding in me. She drops the mask when we're together and she speaks more frankly about what's been bothering her. But as a result, whenever she smiles at me, it is more genuine and brighter than it ever had been before. if you don't open up to her, you're just like, Malcolm is like, you're back. And he's like, indeed. You know what's the most toxic thing on Earth? It's oxygen. I mean, oxygen poisoning is a thing. Okay, so yeah, this is all. She stands closer to me more often, takes me out when we're walking together. She even holds my hand in public. Scandalous! And this is the merging point. If you went to the pizza cave, however, it goes that the week and a half since the last call were difficult. The air of tension hang in the air the whole time. It was impossible to ignore. Malcolm definitely took notice. Fortunately, he didn't know. He just didn't know what he was feeling. Or probably because he did know his mother was upset. Kept quiet of his concerns. That was extra helpful for her. I would have made the same effort. But even with both of us trying to make her life easier, there's still a funk that hung over the house. For the rest of the time, Malcolm occupies himself with his toys and video games as much as usual. Claudia keeps us both at arm length while she recovers. I respect her wishes and don't pry further, mostly because I've already learned what I needed to. Keeps it amicable. Man. Eventually, I'm fine for Sovereign. Damn, dude. Man, this is really where the story splits to like tragic and like, yay. We're adults now. Whoopee! Oh, this is interesting. I may have to come back later and add a more in-depth scene for the above narration, but for now, let's just move on. It's good enough, right? I definitely need to have when putting Malcolm to bed scene play out for the player. Probably after the fair scene. I mean, fair. Today, however, I'm assisting in the charity festival on behalf of Saint Sadler. Hold up! I'm not stupid. Motherfucker, I'm not stupid. Do I look stupid? Do I look dumb? Do I look like an idiot? I know this fucking background, buddy. Hold up. This is the fucking fair park background from ending 3, I think? In Snoot Game. Only you've painted over instead of just using a filter. So hey, props for that, I guess. It's taking place in one of the largest sections of the city's park, which is unnervingly close to Little Trudon. I had hoped that I wouldn't be going anywhere near there for these little church errands. Oh, my trip with Claudia a week and a half ago already made me feel like I was pushing my luck if you went to Pizza Cave. Father Xander showed me that I would be doing exclusively backstage work, so there's a little chance of being noticed. And it's at the edge of the district, so hopefully I have nothing to worry about. It still feels like a lot of risk, especially for what just amounts to a church errand. But one of these booths belongs to St. Hammond's General Hospital and is giving out free flu shots. With one, Director Denovian giving a presentation on them. The opportunity to finally get a look at the source of Claudia's suffering was too good to pass up, especially for a chance to do something about it. You can't kill him here! Although he's set to speak about noon, so for the time being, all I really do is stick to my job and help set up tents. And stay out of the way while I think about what to actually do about this guy. That's if I even should do something. If I mess with him, the most likely outcome is that I'm just gonna piss him off. Which probably would not help Claudia at all. Even if he tried to hunt down who I am, it's likely he'll just find his way to her. And then he might try to make good on his threat to take away Malcolm. Yeah, you would mess things up for her. Only if we have attachment do we get this? I think the best option would just be to hang back and observe. Oh no! If you're not honest, but you have a lot of attachment, he goes, I could just kill him and settle this. Nah, Sadler's like would be pretty stupid. Getting rid of a body at a public event isn't impossible, but doing so without getting noticed sure is. Especially public figure like a director of a hospital. I love this fucking evil win. He's so dumb. I think the best option would be to hang back and observe. That's the safest option for Claudia and Malcolm. Last thing I want is for their lives to get harder. If you don't have enough attachment, he's like, that's the safest option for me. No need to make a scene to expose myself, especially if it wouldn't solve anything. It's time for show, no mercy. That and drawing attention to myself so close to Little Trudon. Besides, outside of St. Sadler's, I'm just another faceless, anonymous human. Getting into a scuffle with the director of a hospital would change that. Does feel like I should do something, though. Hey, you! Stop laughing around and help me move these balloons. Right. Ask and shoot you saw a sheep. Apparently that's Rosa. That's Rosa's text bubble specifically. Like, she's called event organizer, but in the code she's known as Rosa. That's great. Time moves on until the speech is about to take place. It's surprising he's awake until then. He's hitting the flower auction for sure. It will matter to stay out of sight from most people. Once the time for the speech arrives, I find a convenient moment to slip away from my duties and slip into a spot to watch. Can I just point something out? Between this and Half-Life, I've grown such appreciation for the importance of, like, strong pacing. Half-Life is so strongly paced. It does not waste your time with repeat encounters. Like, everything is a little novel, is a little new, is something else. You get used to the aliens, and bam, the humans show up, and you have to fight the humans and their grenades, and their landmines, and their turrets. Like, it introduces things. Snap, 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 snap. Similar to how this story just goes to places. I expect him to run into, like, one of the people from Little Trudon. Man, it's so good. Once the time for the speech arrives, I find a convenient moment to slip away. Okay, yeah. He's slipping and sliding on this banana peel. This should be good. Can't see everything went pretty well from over here. More of a crowd than I was expecting for a presentation and some free flu shots. It's odd that, wait. What are all these kids doing here? It's the middle of the school day, isn't it? Maybe it's a field trip. Uh-oh. Makes more sense, I suppose. Malcolm. Oh, well. This isn't good. Man, I love how we're going to a scene that fucking matters. He's in front of the group. It's too much to hope that Denovian doesn't know what Malcolm looks like. He's bound to spot Malcolm sitting there and pull some kind of stunt to use him to hurt Claudia. Certainly has nothing good in store for the boy if he gets close to him. I've got to do something to get him out of there. Damn it. Crowd's too thick. If we are not attached enough, he's instead like, oh no, that'd be inconvenient. I've got to extract him before that happens. Oh, great. Because he doesn't know about things yet, I guess. Crowd's too thick. I'm gonna have to think of something else. Alright, everyone, thank you for waiting. Unfortunately, with little time I had was already up. And now for a special guest speaker. Wait. God, I lost Rosa. And now for a special guest speaker, the director of St. Amon General Hospital. Damn! Guess I'll have to blend into the crowd and wait things out. Maybe an opportunity will open up. I love how there's a long-haired kid in that crowd. That's great. And please give a warm welcome to Director Denovia. Iatacon! Man, he's got such fucking Iatacon vibes. Also, that fur pattern. He's like a fucking car window. I love that he has diamond-shaped pupils. Like he's a fucking Goodbye Volcano High character. A small smattering of applause rises up as the man finally makes his debut. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a fun time at the fair. Before I begin, I would like to thank you all for coming to my little TED Talk. Hearing the voice that so long has been spewing contemptuous venom through Claudia's answering machine, so to speak. Benignly. Strange to hear. Now then, I know the fun and games around us are a bit more interesting than keeping your immune system up to snuff. Observing the director, I can tell he's scanning the crowd. Doesn't take long before his eyes fall on Malcolm. But I think we can make some fun for ourselves. I saw the Parasaur's face flash with an expression of manic glee for a brief moment. It was only a second before returning to the placid, smiling public mask he wore before. If I wasn't watching him so intently, I would have missed it. That confirms it. The Novian must have known that Malcolm would be here. Gonna have to look into how that could be after Malcolm is safely away from him. As the presentation begins, the director is joined by a few other doctors on the stage. 30-minute long for a flu shot trial, how they work, and why kids need them. Dr. Novin's worst part seems to be a decent actor, if nothing else. He certainly comes across as friendly and charming. If I didn't know any better, I might believe he was. That concludes our presentation! Thank you for coming, and remember, always trust your doctor and get your shots. Polite applause rolls across the crowd as the director and other doctors step down to the microphone and step off the stage. Photographers appear from seeming lower to conduct photo ops. In response, the parents push their particular child forward, jockeying to try and be the first. While I'm shunted out of the crowd, the mom does a good job of getting in Denovian's ways too. Man, I love this setup, man. The framing is really good on this. It's like he's over here, he's over there, and it's in the middle. And then Malcolm's in the middle. Was this all for a fucking pun? Which gives me a chance to get to Malcolm I've been waiting for. That's still pretty thick. Don't say it like that. I might have to elbow my way through. But that might draw unwanted attention to me. Might even step on the wrong toe and get a parent shot at me, if not outright starting a fight. Probably better if I can sneak Malcolm out of here without anyone knowing. This is apparently an attachment choice. Apparently, oh shit, I got myself all fucked up. Apparently, the right option is to push through aggressively, which makes sense. Kick up a fuss. I could draw Denovian someone else's attention. I appreciate that his old tactics don't work here. He's got to be firm. It's already gotten to him. Might have to intervene. Apparently, it was going to be a menu where you step on his tail. That's just default the thing you do. You know what? To hell with it. This bastard deserves a bit of pain. Just have the menu option, but it's just step on his tail 4 times. I take a casual step on the director's tail. Is his tail even that long? Oh, it is. It lets out an admittedly comical howl as he shoots up his feet and rounds out to me. Malcolm is knocked down in the process. And he's like, who the fuck? Son of a bitch, what the hell are you doing? Ugh, God, it's doing the fucking, like, stronger than average human thing. Makes them dangerous, even if they're clumsy from weighing extra. Then Malcolm's thrown to the ground. And then the kid starts crying. And then Denovian's entirely focused on him. Man, this is a weird conversation. If he's very attached. And if you're very attached and he wants to help Malcolm, otherwise he's like, it's distracting, it's bound to get his attention. Amidst it all, I'm the only one to notice Malcolm noticing me, and extending his small arms towards me. And if he's attached, he's like, oh man, little baby man, my little baby man. I sidestep Denovian and wrap Malcolm in my arms. Almost immediately his weeping subsides. Not entirely, oh man. I've just revealed that Malcolm and I know each other closely. Oh shit. And then Malcolm's like, hi, Win! That's so weird. I fell down and I was shouting and... Go be with your Cheech and find something nice to eat. And he's alone with Dr. Denovian. But we are going to push through the crowd aggressively. Datavore! Anonymity be damned. Any interaction between Denovian and Malcolm is sure to be bad for him and his mother. I can risk a bit of attention if it means keeping Malcolm safe. Hey! Watch it! My tail!
Watch where you're shoving, you jack!
Huh?
Huh?
Got him. VIP found.
When? You came to the fair too?
Yes, I'm helping set it up and take it down.
Cool, I'm here with my class. You wanna hang out with us? I was just able to get my picture taken. We learned about vaccines and germs and...
Vaccines.
Yeah, the doctors know best.
It's very interesting, Malcolm, but I would like you to avoid this place for a while. There's bad men. Bad men! Aha! Here is someone who needs a photo. Damn it. I very quickly interpose myself between Denovian and Malcolm. I'd like to think I contained the look of contempt on my face, but I couldn't be sure. Because for some fucking reason, every goddamn person in these fucking fics and stories always talks about how their face looks. Human? That is unexpected. Who are you? Parasol gives me a once-over, sizing me up. We end up staring into each other's faces, trying to get a read on each other. Mind if I ask why your face is 50% black half of the time? Now that I get a good look at him, I can tell there's something off about his eyes. They have that look. Same one I've seen on less savory people I met during my thieving days. He's either on some kind of drug, or more likely considering his habit of harassing Claudia. He's a sociopath. Might be both if I'm unlucky. I thought there weren't any human children at Volcano Elementary. Are you one of the chaperones? How do you know this kid? Shit, Win! Be careful, please! A quick look of frustration and hatred across the director's face. Crosses the director's face as stonewalling. What are you doing at this gay bar, Win? He's not gonna try anything while there are witnesses. Especially since he has a syringe in his pocket that he's planning to use to sedate the child. How did you know that? What? How did you know that? I was actually just making a lucky guess. Why do you talk like that? I just have to keep this creep away from Malcolm until it's time for his class to move on.
Win? Is something wrong? Oh, so you two do know each other. That is interesting. You wouldn't happen to know his mother too, would you? Win?
Malcolm, stay by me.
Okay. Oh, what's the matter, Vin? Don't trust doctors.
Oh, Malcolm, there you are. Come on, send me to the next exhibit. Go on, Malcolm.
Okay. See you later, Win. I'll catch you later, kid.
Like he just gets absorbed into the crowd. That should do for now. Gotta get the hell out of here and away from this. Might have to bail on the rest of the day's work just to keep an eye on Malcolm, though. I'm sure Father Xander understands once I tell him that Novian was here. Hold on there, champ. We aren't done yet, Win. How about a picture? Could use a new human photo for one of our marketing pieces. Damn it. Discretion is probably the better part of valor here. Apparently, there was going to be an option where you just watched. Or is going to be an option. And he's like, odd. This whole situation has already gone off the rails. Best choice is probably to walk away. Oh no, you fucker, you're not getting away from me. Nobody fucks with me. Damn it.
So who the fuck are you?
Don't you know that kid? I was hoping being in public would force this guy to contain himself. This is not as much of a concern to him as I was hoping.
Well, you better stop talking, bucko. I call over security. They'll tell me you caught you playing grabbers with the kindergartners. Trust me, I know how just the judge to make sure you don't get a fair trial. And I got friends in all the right places that'll back me up whatever story I feed them. So last time, you skinny fuck, who are you?
I feel like Xander would be your ace in the hole for this, though. I feel like of all people, this is the kind of thing he couldn't pull. But I guess that's why Xander couldn't do it himself. Seems like I don't have a choice but to play along. I can still avoid giving him anything he can use. I like how this isn't an honesty choice. It's just like, you decide. But we're gonna go with what everyone else knows. Military man. Man, I do not like Denovian. I would throw this man in a river and I wouldn't think twice about it. How do you know that, little shit? I have a right to... None of these choices matter, which should give you a clear indication what Denovian's role in the story is. Go to the same church, introduce him by his mother. They're desperate to spread her legs for a skinny, though. Let's say about trying to... You know what, if we can pick any choice, I'm just gonna go with the one that makes him the most pissed off. I love how Win is just standing there like, You strike me as one of those religious, self-righteous... God damn it, you pray with Minnie once! Let me guess. She was on her knees, praying to rap to Jesus that we save her from something, and you saw her, felt the urge to be the one. To be that guy that rides in and rescues her. Like some white knight shit. Probably some crumb of pussy while you're at it. Give that bastard. Give that little bastard a sibling. I feel like this guy doesn't give a shit what we have to say, is what I'm trying to say. slut's a great lay. She does amazing work. On her knees, on her back. I understand what Dr. Kevorkian is doing. Trying to, at least. Trying to find out what gets an emotional response out of me. What I can only guess at the time being is that I've heard most of the same rhetoric already via the phone calls, so it'll take more than that to get a rise out of me. If he isn't honest enough, he'll actually say, I like how unhonest Win is like, I'm gonna just fucking cap someone at some point. I love how angry he is. Also, if you're not attached at all, then you don't get either of the punching or attack options. Instead, it's like, I'm getting bored of hearing him prattle. His vulgarity is annoying at this point. He is annoyingly vulgar, though. Notice how your outline is yellow? Maybe we saw the kid thought he needed a friend. Be a good dad and step up. It was honestly pretty pathetic. The bitch should have avoided a little parasite, like I said. You are very honest about the truth of the situation, buddy. But hey, if you want to look at it as like a good little cuck, go ahead. Man, this guy is just like, he'll give me a good laugh. What is with this guy? He's obsessed. He is obsessed. There's something about him that's just like, he doesn't want to let go. But he insists it's the other way around, you know? I guess it's because she's the one that got away. Like, she is the one that said no to him, and he just can't let go because he's a fucking narcissistic sociopath. So he can't let go of the concept that someone could say no to him. I'm seeing bad guys in Malcolm's cartoons less over the top than this maniac. Well, Ryan felt of his has been something you'd find on a bathroom stall door. And again, he does seem to be getting carried away. I might be able to get his motives just by asking him. Although they might just rile him up a little more. Fun fact, this doesn't actually do anything. And I kind of like it. What? You already ruined her life. Why are you continuing with this? What sort of retarded question is that? Because I can. Besides, the stupid who deserved it. I barely flirt with the shorty bent. Oh. I appreciate that so far the tone of this has been fairly light. It's all light. And now it's like this guy shows up and suddenly like the whole tone changes. Like even the phone calls were one thing. But now that he is a real person in the story, everything changes. It's great. So she better do his consequences. Commit suicide after drowning that little shit in the bathtub. It be what she deserves. You mean it's be. But why? All she did was, nobody tells me no! And you're right, it is all about control. If you say nothing, he's just gonna stand there like a retard. You know, it doesn't matter who you are, because if you regret it, you're gonna regret it. My professional medical opinion is you should have fun with the bitch and then ditch her fast. Because now I'm really gonna mess with her and fuck up whoever's close to her. There you are. Oh, hell. Things gone off the rail enough? I recognize that voice. I seriously can't believe my luck is that inexplicably bad. Ah! But I guess it really is. God, I'm screwed! And what are you doing here? Shit. Mr. Deirdre, I was just... Miss Deirdre? Yes, tune should change in a hurry. Shut it. I don't know what her voice is. We're gonna have to live with this. I don't want to hear any excuses. You're supposed to be making nice with the public and taking pictures that look good for tourists. Not getting into arguments with random strangers and jeopardizing that nice, squeaky clean public image. Yes, ma'am. It won't happen again. It had better not. My father does not like it when his inferiors do not follow instructions. He finds their incompetence hard to swallow. Right. I am glad you understand. Now, remember your place in the food chain. Tony? Yes, ma'am. Help the director back to his trailer. Make sure he stays there and behaves himself. Yes, ma'am. Come on, Doc, let's go. The Novian doesn't even glance at me as he's practically perk-walked backstage of the hospital tent. Well, that was cathartic to see the director get his leash yanked like that. And now, as for you, now you have to reckon with the one holding it. I probably should have run away while they were talking. Oh, I appreciate your fucking honesty, buddy. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. We do not have a lot of time, so I'll be brief. Meet me here tomorrow morning. What?
I'd like to offer you a deal. A deal? Oh, yes. Something I think will be mutually beneficial. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but in brief, you help me, I help you, and as an added incentive, I'll even help that nice Parasol woman and that son of her gets free from Dr. Donovian's insipid little garage. Does that sound interesting enough? Making a deal isn't exactly what I was expecting, but it certainly sounds better than getting bagged on the head and taken to Alfonso's kitchen. But it's probably a trap. Probably. Yeah. Good. 6 a.m. Don't be late. God damn it, 6 a.m. I wake up at 8. And I'm still gonna get here. And if you are, you'll be lunch. Understand? Yes. Excellent. Now, I've got a fad that needs to get back to running. You just focus on keeping the petty fate of yours and the money you stole out of sight. See you tomorrow. Ciao bello. Wait, if you're Mexican, then it's ciao bejo. What are you... get out of here. See you later? Oh boy. What a damn mess. I think I've really messed up today. Not as much as I could have. Probably. How am I gonna explain this to Claudia? Should I even? What kind of question is that? Of course I should. Just to be ready for whatever Denovian is gonna throw at her now that I've gotten him riled up. Need to come up with some way to help her with. And that's before just casually bumping into the daughter of the mops I've been trying to hide from for 4 months. What is she even doing here? It does seem pretty obvious she has Denovian in her pocket. Well, Fonzie does at any rate. But she wants to make me a deal instead of feeding me to her father? Maybe that'll come later. She does seem to know about Claudia and Malcolm. So why shouldn't she come for the money? Unless my guess was right. Sounds too good to be true, but I really can't conceive of any other reason she would just leave me be if she knew where I was. And she did offer to help with the Denovian issue. I may just have to trust her. Reflecting briefly on everything that just happens gives me a sudden and intense bout of exhaustion. If you step on his tail, he's like, that was the stupidest idea ever. Despite my best efforts not to, I thought I was in the clear. The dawning realization that today's fiasco isn't even close to the end of it. I close my eyes, breathe in air into my lungs. Apparently, if you're not attached... I want to close my windows for a brief moment because the sun is shining into my face. If you're not attached... Oh, that also requires that you don't know about stuff and all. Probably knows where I'm staying. Play up and trust her. Just to get me, Malcolm, and Denovian in the same place. Oh, that's interesting. The only flaw is counting on me to care enough about Malcolm to butt heads with the director. Bit of a stretch and not outside the realm possibility. I appreciate that if you're not attached, he's like, why the fuck do these people think I care? And I breathe out possibly the heaviest sigh I've ever done in my life. I just get through the rest of the day. Now Claudia has something splendid for dinner. Coffee. Lots of coffee. Dude, you gotta get in bed on time. You gotta be up by 6. Rest of the fair proceeds that were surprises. I'm surprised I had to clean up and go home. Although the thought that I'll be needing to talk to Claudia about today's event does fill me with discomfort. Everything's packed up. Trash collected. I just following back to Sadler. Takes me to the church parking lot. I was just knowing I'm going to give him a rundown. Bit aggressive with the crowd. He believes it's the right thing. Oh, here we go. If we're not attached, he's not upset about having to talk to her, but there is a grammatical mistake. It's be nice to just eat dinner, get some sleep, and worry about all this tomorrow. If you step on his tail, then Xander's like, yeah, I should have stepped on his tail, but you shouldn't have done it that time. Nor does he think it was particularly smart, but it's done, it's done. He goes so far as to say he's proud of my choice and leave it alone. Yeah, I don't know if the leaving things alone is an omitted choice. It's just not going to get considered because it's part of the bad ending, or if, I don't know, it shows up in bits and pieces. I mention my appointment in the morning to him. He gives a thoughtful look and suggests that I go forward with it. Seems intrigued as I am. about Giudice's knowledge of where I've been and her willingness to help Claudia. Although he does encourage me to use caution. He agrees to have a car ready for me in the morning, and so I have goodbye. Quiet walk home. It's a quiet walk to Claudia's house if you're not friends. The weather started to warm back up, and all the various insects have returned, peaceful enough that I take a moment to collect my thoughts. I was bound to have to confront Denovian eventually. I wish it was on my terms, but it just wasn't my luck, I suppose. Whatever the case, if I tell Claudia about what happened at the fair, I definitely have to tell her I have a plan. Even if that current plan is, hey, the mobster lady I stole a bunch of money from said she could use help. I'll just ask her. Yeah, sounds like a great plan. Even if it's a lie, it'll make her feel better. I'd rather be able to... Okay. Yeah, okay, there's the alternate option if you're not honest. Here we go. Let's go! As I entered the two parasols in the middle of watching a movie of some kind. I don't know what it is, but it looks like a caveman is hang gliding on some kind of giant bat. Is it fucking Batman? I win! Good evening. Me and Mom were just watching a radio movie about a caveman that's from the future and he fights robots and stuff. What? Caveman from the future. That sounds fascinating. It really is. It certainly is something. It's a bit cheesy. Oh god, this music's loud. It's a bit cheesy, but something I found in a bargain bin. It's worth a whole $2. Worth the whole $2? How was the fair? Sorry I couldn't help out today. I hope it wasn't too much work for you to do. And the work was easy enough. Yeah! There were lots of games, ice cream, candy, and then we got ice cream and games and candy. Me and Win. The boy looks at me. For what to do, the more uncomfortable events of the day come to mind. Let's see, hold up. If you're attached a little bit, you will get the leg hug. But if you're super attached, you get the full hug. Dang, we got the hug ending. That Terminator. I guess that is... Why did it... What are you doing in the corner? Small child! Oh, this is so cool! If you're not honest, we skip the fair recap. Automatically. Did you do something fun together? There's something we need to talk about. The music fades out. I think this just moves you to the fair recap skip. And doesn't do all that much else. Jesus fucking Christ, this is a huge conversation. I know it's a little early. Fuck it, we'll do this, and then we're gonna call it a quitsies. This fucking plot moves at a breakneck pace, man. We could talk about it in the kitchen while I hit my dinner. Malcolm? How about you keep watching the movie? We'll be back in a bit. But... It's okay, Malcolm. It'll be fine. Okay. Well, I'll meet you in the kitchen. It's okay, Malcolm. It'll all be okay. I'm gonna get your dad killed by a mobster who thinks I'm super cool for fucking over her dad. It's really goddamn cool. Honestly, it's impressive this plan is gonna work out at all. Promise. Okay. Claudia waits nervously in the kitchen, sitting uncomfortably next to the sink. I brace myself for yet another uncomfortable conversation. It really doesn't get any easier. First the phone call, then the whole closet thing. It's only if you told her about the call and you went to church. I really hope this is the last time I have to have a big dramatic talk with Claudia. I don't know if I can take any more of these. Win. What happened at the fair? Did something happen to Malcolm? Yes. There was an event that Malcolm's class attended that was put on by St. Hammond's General Hospital. And Denovian was there. What? No! No! It's okay. He didn't hurt Malcolm. I was able to get to Malcolm before Denovian did. I didn't let him get anywhere close to Malcolm. If you step on his tail, he was like, I couldn't get to him first. But unfortunately, he did rather accurately guess that I'm connected to both you and Malcolm. As such, he threatened to step up his harassment. I'm sorry, Claudia. I tried to help, but I think I messed up. Win. I'm sorry. I feel like it's worth pointing out that if, he wasn't there, the kid would have just been with Denovian, taken to a little shed and killed.
Oh, that's why her tail was bumpy like that. She's got little bumps on her tail. She didn't notice them before. God, when we only get this if we're super attached. I've been afraid this would happen since Malcolm was born. That man would get close to my baby. I've had nightmares about it. And now here they've come true. Why is this fucking called gaming? Show win at gaming. Oh, that's probably the shaking they're doing. I can sense Claudia's on the verge of breaking down. I tied my hold on her in an effort to reassure her. It's okay, Claudia. I'm here. I'll take care of it. Just don't worry. I'm here with you. If we're super honest and attached, Claudia's breathing even out as her own arms tighten around me. They even rub up and down my back. You know, thank you when I needed that. Thank you for saying you'd be there for me and Malcolm. I know this was bound to happen eventually. I was just hoping I'd be more ready when it did. Less afraid. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do, but I know I'm going to have to do something now. We'll figure something out. Yes. Yes, we will. I think if you're here with me, I don't have to be afraid. Not of him. Not anymore. A warm feeling flows through me as she says that. Not only because of the kind words, but the way she looks. She seems to be so alive suddenly. God. It's just good to have someone I can rely upon. You know? Oh, wow! Hoochie mama! She's getting awfully close. My detective stance. Yeah. I've been learning that it's nice having people. Oh, Win. I've been thinking. Hey, Mom! Hey, sweetheart? The movie's over. Okay, honey, can you get ready to bed? And I'll go be by to tuck you in a bit, okay? Well, actually, could Win help out too? Me? With a small child? I think that's the greatest idea. Would you like that, Win? Yes. I would. God, he's fucking dork. A great big smile stretched across the young boy's face once he heard my reply. Well, I expected one of his usual shouts of joy, instead just looked bashfully at his feet. Cool. Okay, Malcolm, go on and get ready. Okay. Do you get it? This whole scene is to set up that shit's gonna suck in about an hour. The young parasol shoots me one last smile before scampering off to his room. I'm going to die! Strange. What's strange about it? I just don't know why he suddenly wants me to join. It's not that much of a mystery, is it? I don't know if you've noticed, but he thinks the world of you. Really? Of course. You've really made an impression on him, haven't you noticed? Oh, come on. It'll be fun. He was blushing! Responding with an affirmative nod, I follow Claudia down the hall to Malcolm's room, which is my first time in the boys' room. This is the first time I've felt some hesitancy entering it. The situation is much more familiar than I'm used to. The young boy is already in his bed waiting for us with a small book in his hands. As I enter, he extends the book towards me. I look towards Claudia, who gives me a big smile and nudges me in the arm. Tells him a grandpa story where it's very gruesome and he uses slurs. Son, did you know what the T word means? And then she's like, oh no! You can't say that to my child, Win! Getting the gist of what I was supposed to do, I nervously approached the boy and took the book. I'm gonna need like 5 seconds to I'm not making it otherwise, sorry. Pardon me. Sitting in the chair next to the boy's bed, I get as comfortable as I can and begin to read. Shakily and less expertly than the boy's mother, I'm sure, but neither of them seems to mind. The story in question seems to be a fairy tale. What of a knight riding in to save a princess from the clutches of a cruel dragon? Dude, you're supposed to be reading. Claudia watches from the door as I read the boy the bedtime story. Why does she look so like parallelogrammed? Stop looking so trapezoidal. I think she's more annoyed with the scene playing out than the quality of my performance. Something I can't say I feel that different about. Simple act of reading this bedtime story so far removed from where I was when I first arrived. At this moment, I don't think there's anywhere I'd rather be. By the time I stumble over the last passage of the tale, Malcolm is fast asleep. I place the book on a nearby shelf and rejoin Claudia in the hallway. She just smiles for a while before she gently places a hand on my arm and gives it a small squeeze. What? Claudia, why does Malcolm have roadside picking as a bedtime story? My heart flutters at the gesture, and I freeze up in anticipation for her to do more. But she does. It doesn't appear she reconsiders moving forward with anything, and all she does is whisper, "You did good." With one more parting squeeze and a bright smile, she bids me goodnight and disappears into her room. I return to my room and collapse in bed, utterly exhausted. What a day! The Novian, Deirdre. Could have been worse, I guess. At least I'm fairly sure it could have been. Excuse me. If Deirdre hadn't arrived when she did, I don't know what would have happened at the fair. I wonder if her offer is legitimate. I guess I'll find out tomorrow when I meet her. I mean, it's probably not a trap. Probably. At least things went well with Malcolm and Claudia tonight. She seems a lot better than when I first met her. Actually, seems to be willing to start pushing back on Denovia. I guess technically I've fulfilled Father Xander's request, but I wouldn't mind seeing this through to the end. In fact, I wouldn't mind staying here for a while after everything's said and done. Maybe living with Claudia and Malcolm would be a nice change from my old life. Something I lived through all this, of course. Finally, after some time of laying there and thinking how delightful a life with Claudia and Malcolm would be, I finally reached my limit and fall into a deep sleep, hoping I wake up in time for the meeting tomorrow. But rather than I wake up as lunch after finding some place that I want to call home. The next morning, if we do not have the honesty... Oh, this is just in general. If we fail to have 3 attachment. It's a much shorter scene. Yeah, he doesn't properly console her because it's not that deep. And they nestle together. Spaghetti and garlic bread. It's a much shorter outro. Way more like, ugh. And if you have no attachment, not enough attachment at all, she's starting to spiral. Please, no, please, God, Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Everything I need to stay calm for Malcolm's sake. Who's been affecting her. It's best for Malcolm. Let's focus on that. I'll handle Denovian. Oh my God! In the no attachment, he's just like, I have to focus on keeping on getting this job taken care. What do you mean handling him? And he's just like, did you mean it? Handling him? And he's like, count on it. She's quiet. Oh God, she thinks he's gonna fucking murder him. Oh, I'm really tired. He's like, I know, get some rest. And then Malcolm doesn't understand if she's really okay or not, because he can't console her properly. If there was ever a time to pull out the stakes and leave, it be now. At least it would be, if not for Deirdre finding me. It's pretty much cemented. I can't just disappear. Okay, so that's how non-attached Wynn handles it. If I've had things my way, I'd already be across the board with a new identity. You start cutting some threads that are keeping me stuck here. Oh God, not attached is thinking about things. Maybe we can find a solution for Denovian. Great. Depends on the kind of deal. So maybe I can get rid of them. I could just leave Claudia, Xander, all the people. It's not really any of my concern, probably. It's not like they'll come after me. But again, Xander has given what information he could to the VPD, which means I'm on a record. If you skip the fair recap, there's a whole fucking scene. What the hell, man? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, let's make this extremely clear. There is so much here, man. This section is given love. I'm gonna go through it as quickly as I can, but fuck, I'm running out of time. Considering how tired you are, okay, she's like, oh, what are you doing? We had garlic bread, Malcolm says. Yeah, because he doesn't recap Claudia, she doesn't know what's going on. Want to finish the caveman movie? Yeah, because on this one, Win is like, doesn't give a shit. So he's just tired. I do appreciate that the attachment's more important than the honesty, really. Which is kind of weird, because the story is fundamentally the other... I don't know, it's trying to have both ways, but it really isn't cutting that cake down the middle. Maybe we can get Tiffany to watch it. How do you get into this branch for the recap in the first place? If you're not honest, you have to be one or less honesty. So this is the non-honest route. I guess that's why I'm... Yeah, so not being honest gets you all this. I just complained about honesty not being a big thing. But that's because this entire fucking branch is about honesty, Safi. You idiot. God damn. But some of these old movies can surprise you with some naughty bits that aren't suitable for kids. And Win is just like boobs? And she's like, yeah, 5-year-old isn't ready for that kind of thing. I just need to watch ahead and make sure it's okay for him. In the other, she doesn't. I guess in the good ending, Malcolm is exposed to boob. I don't know if that's a good ending thing, but whatever. Another pair of eyes wouldn't hurt, just so you don't miss anything. Oh, they can start watching together. Oh my goodness. And they enjoy each other. The movie wasn't bad. The movie was hilariously bad. But if you're not attached, and you're not honest, he's just like, eh. I hope it doesn't disappoint then. He doesn't even talk about the boob. Just the night passed easily. Okay. Quietly watching the strange movie. Whittaker final good night. Okay, so if you have if you have one or less attachment, basically you're not fucking trying. What a debacle. Time to pull out here. It's now. Okay, it's the same thing. It's basically a compilation of the other things. Where it's like, I have to start with Deidre. Solution for Denovian. Doesn't matter. The rest don't matter. And the VPD. Blah, blah, blah. VBPD. You know what? I can go a little bit. We can go a little bit. But let's go right up to the conversation so that we have a rockin' start next time. The next morning. Fortunately, the many years I spent sleeping in cars for a handful of hours this time proves my internal clock remains on point. I'm able to crawl out of bed in a relatively fully awakened state. Deciding to skip any breakfast of sorts, I dress and head out at doors quietly as I can. It's not only dark outside, but choked with fog. If I hadn't walked to St. Sattler so often by this point, I may have genuinely gotten lost. Dawn does break somewhere beyond the morning mist, though, so by the time I arrive at the church, it's not in total darkness. As I approach the church parking lot, I'm surprised to see Father Xander waiting for me next to the van.
Oh, and there you are.
Yeah, I am. Surprised to see you up this early.
Oh, there's no helping that. I'm still living on army time. Worry not, I make up for it with a healthy dose of afternoon naps.
As I've noticed. What are you doing anyway?
I'm doing some final touch-ups in the line of scripture I painted onto the side of the van.
You painted it in the dark?
Oh, I've been thinking of this for a bit, so I ordered a stencil of what I wanted and ordered a couple of weeks ago. I actually did most of the work after you got back from the fair yesterday. Just grabbed a flashlight and some spray paint and voila. Also, don't let this go to your head, but you were actually a bit of an inspiration for my choice in scripture.
Really?
Oh, yes. Yeah, come take a look.
If you have. Okay, oh, this is the point total. This is the how much are you fucking shit up? Yeah, we got the I like this. It's I mean, listen, the tarot card is what everyone likes, but I don't know, I think a little Bible scripture can go a long way considering the relevance of the plot. Actually, isn't that relevant? Like, the religiousness isn't that relevant. I guess Father Xander is a priest, and Minnie is religious, but, like, it's not something that moves the story.
You will know. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John, whatever. I'm quite pleased with it. You say I inspired this? Oh, yes. You really impressed me these past few months. You've been a real help to those around you. Been forthright and honest in just about everything you've done. Even taking responsibility for your past mistakes. You've really done much more than I could have expected in regards to helping Claudia. If you keep this up, you may have a long and happy life ahead of you. And if what Minnie gossips to me about, you won't be spent alone either. She's interested in me? I'm talking about God damn it! Get out of here! Sapphire, you have nothing to do with any of this. I'm the Alpha and I'm the Omega, Virgil. For the funny launcher. I wouldn't mind not being alone. It's certainly a preferable option. Now, you've got a meeting to get to, so get to it. Be careful. This Deirdre woman, from what you've described to him, from what I've learned from my friends at the VPD, she's not as evil as her father, but that doesn't mean you should be careless. I'll stay on my twinkle toes. I'll see you later. Good luck, and may God be with you, my son. I thought the Force was supposed to be with me. God damn it, different movie! Okay, if you have more than 3 attachment points and more than 3 honesty points, but less or equal to 3 attachments, basically you're in the middle. Then they promise them freedom, but they themselves are slaves to corruption. So you haven't done good enough. You're not quite there yet. For whatever overcomes a person, to that he is enslaves. I mean, that's very straightforward. But what you're saying is pretty obvious. I'm not sure I get it. It's a bit of a warning for pitfalls those who trying to do the right thing sometimes fall into. They become slaves? Well, doing the right thing isn't easy, as you are well aware. And try to do the right thing. Even trying to know what the right thing is can prove too much. Oh, that's cute. And when someone offers a solution, they just accept it without thinking. Too often, this comes at a price. Before they know it, they become ensnared by the wicked, and with themselves are caught in the web of evil. It's inspired by you. It's a small difference, I know. But I'm pleased you can see your own story in the scripture. I love how Win is like, this is about me, isn't it? It seemed like an optimistic appraisal. It's not the end of the world. God specialized in the liberation of the enslaved in both body and spirit. Except for that one time when he was super into the Atlantic slave trade. Man, God had a weird time back then. I mean, I mostly blame the Republicans, but fuck it. I thought it was the Democrats at the time. Oh, well, you know, politics change. I mean, you know, Lincoln was a Democrat, so don't even pretend. Besides, don't let those parties stay the same anyway. I mean, you've got a point. If the Republicans were behind, you know, that side of the Civil War, they are currently in the part that still cling to it. Yeah, that's what I mean. Why are we talking about this again? I thought I was talking about scripture. Boy, you need to get a hobby. Just food for thought. Better do it yourself or those who trust than be in service of beasts and monsters. I like it. Like, it's like, don't compromise your morals for quick solutions. Don't just shoot him! Please! Oh, I see. Oh, okay, I see. This says you have more than 2 points in honesty and attachment, but you have less in attachment or honesty in a certain case. So one of them is falling short. But one of them can be really high, but one of them... Okay. God, I pray God keeps his eye on you. If you have no honesty, but decent attachment, repay no evil for evil, have regard to the good things in the sight of all men. If possible, as much as depends on you, live peacefully with all men. Beloved, do not avenge yourself, but rather give place to wrath. For it is not written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. Bit of a long one. Will people have time to read that? Well, I think I've heard that last time before. Quite a bit for boast and the others I was thinking of. But as you say, the last line is the one that only anyone really hears, and I think the context is necessary. Otherwise, it just sounds like a threat. Okay. Yeah, okay, I see what this says. It's like, hey, let God sort them out. Don't be that guy. Let God take care of it for you. I said don't just shoot him. I'm gonna shoot him. I took your gun. I'm taking it back. You can't just take the gun. I already did. God damn it. I should have bought a lock. Your apparent acceptance of new houses. Well, the moment they recover and go and get themselves hurt again, get back. I'm afraid certain aspects have left behind. It's the honesty. I like that honesty takes the special spot. It's not like 2 different bars of goodness. It's like both of them are meant to reflect certain aspects of a character. Like, I really do feel that Snook Game and Wani do not use their morality scores for anything, and they could have just been one ending and been fine.
Like, they really didn't need the fucking endings, especially not Wani. I feel like they would have done better by just exploring the concepts a bit more. Like, this one explores Win as a character so deeply by having these options and what they mean. If you don't want to change, you have to start being honest, not a cloudy with yourself. Okay, so it's just, okay, buddy, be honest. If you have no attachment, aka you fucked up, do not incline my heart to any evil thing, to practice the deeds of wickedness, with men who do iniquity, and do not let me eat of their delicacies. Interesting, what does it mean? Just a small prayer one might ask for God to help resist temptation. You've been keeping your distance from those of us in Saddlers, and you seem to be keeping Claudia at arm's length. That's certainly your prerogative, but I worry about you, Win. This situation, you could go a lot of ways. Some good and some not so good. I'm not sure which one you're heading towards. I'd like to think that you're not just going to go back to thieving once all this is over. Yeah. And I like that. Going out the city park from St. Sadler's was easily enough, despite not being overly familiar with the route, but as luck would have it, despite being on the other side of the city, more or less a straight shot from the church. So, the misty morning proved less of an obstacle, more of a mood setter. Seems I've gotten here a bit early. It doesn't make me feel any better. The fact that I have so little control over the situation is actually putting me a little on edge. The side of the city is more fog than Bayside does, and I can't see a thing. Go Bayside! I wonder if she'll be able to find me in the soup. I hate to have her assume I skipped the meeting just because she couldn't find me. Hey you! Come on with the purple coat! Was that her? No, the voice sounds different. Follow the direction to hear where the voice came from. It's a bird's sort, a shape emerges from the fog. It's fucking Tracy! Hello? Oh, hey there! Looking for breakfast you can take on the go. No, I'm actually supposed to meet someone here. Oh, that's so! That what the morning drug is? I have no idea. It's sort of an appointment type thing. Sounds like you got some time to kill then. You want one of my packet of bacon, egg, and chili cheese dogs, wait. All the early birds are out, I love them. I didn't know you could put all that in a single hot dog. How the fuck do you put that on a single hot dog? Give me that fat hot dog! Might be worth a shot. Okay, I'll take one. Make that two. Fading in and out of the mist is like some red-scaled specter is Deirdre. Why the hell are you... Before I can even register a presence, she calls an arm around mine and pulls me in close. Of course, I don't have my wallet on me, so my friend here will be paying for mine. You don't mind, do you? After all, I did loan some cash not too long ago, right? I'm getting rather friendly right off the bat, I see. Sure, no problem. 2 breakfast hot dogs, please. 2 breakfast burgers coming right up. The hot dog woman suddenly becomes a blur of motion. Ingredients flip and fly this way and that, and the misty air is soon tinged with the scent of grilled meat. Win won't stop thieving until he seals Skinwater Mutant Witch with the power of casting explosions. Deadly Shadows gets a bit weird around that part. It sure does. It sure does. And in a flash, the cheerful vendor presents me with 2 hot dogs. Give me that fat hot dog! Overflowing with no doubt unhealthy amounts of toppings. I pass along the order to my companion and pay for the meal, which is a playful smirk at the Allosaurus woman. But thanks, I skipped breakfast this morning. I'm simply famished. Why does she have a hot dog sprite? Burke McGinnis showed a comment. Deirdre weighs the hot dog one and pulls my arm away into the mist. Why is he holding a hot dog? Why can't I have a hot dog? I don't know how she's navigating this park with such poor visibility, but she seems to know where she's going, which isn't much of a comfort to me as I'd like. Eventually we come to a stop near a small fountain grotto within the park, where the Saurian woman finally releases my arm. Isn't this a nice and secluded spot to have a pleasant talk? Why do you look like you're in your underwear? Best girl. Ugh, get fucking lost, man. He's got a fucking hot dog! I can't really tell. I can't see much. You just have to trust me then, don't you? I suppose I will. Considering there could be some of your father's men in the midst who are trying to jump me. There certainly could be, couldn't there? But what is out of mind, as they say? Let us focus on what you came here for, no? Sit by the fountain so we can talk. God damn it, I don't want to kiss another woman. One is gross enough. Seeing hesitation, she passes the spot next to him and smiles expectantly at me. She pleasantly conversational tone is catching me off guard somewhat, as does the apparent state of ease she seems to be in. Maybe she's so calm because there really are goons surrounding me just out of sight. Maybe she knows she has all the leverage in this scenario. Instead of worrying about it, I choose to instead gingerly take my seat next to her. Boop! Deirdre, meanwhile, pops an entire hot dog into her mouth and swallows it in one not-so-dainty bite. Goons. Hell yeah, man. Delicious. So then, whatever shall we talk about? Didn't you want to talk about a fucking deal? You seemed to be in such a rush yesterday. Oh, that was yesterday? I was at the press for time. Today I have time to kill. Why does every woman I meet have giant bazonkas? Claudia, big bazonkas. We got Minnie, honka de gonkaloos. And you, big zonkle or spinkle onkaloos. What? Why not make some pleasant conversation first? Besides, it helps us to know each other better. I suppose she's right about that. I might be able to get some good information out of it this way too. Jesus! What? Why is there dating music? To begin with, I'm delighted that we finally have a chance to talk with you. I had thought you might have died concerning how badly you looked as you hobbled out at the restaurant at night. She attempts and fails to stifle a small laugh. I must say, that wasn't a particularly well thought out escape, but I'm guessing the party wasn't expected. However, it is what I'm happy to see you. I am happy to see you alive, and not a cripple. If I didn't know better, I'd believe that humans really were made of rubber. But I think you and I both know that humans really are made of a bit too well. Escape was not my finest moment, and things were pretty easy up until then. I don't doubt that. Almost all of the buildings are a little truth on back when electricity was a novelty. Even when my father was put in charge of it, I have been trying to modernize the whole area, so it can turn a profit. But as you can guess, yes, other concerns than profits. My concerns, however, are far more negotiable. I prefer to keep humans in the city very much alive. Jesus! I never lost you. So you did let me escape? Yes, but it sounds like you figured that out a while ago. I had my driver Tony follow the taxi you sped away in. Wasn't particularly easily, mind you. After that, we just kept an eye on you from a distance. Make sure you didn't skip town while I was looking on other matters. I made sure no one else found out about you either. Jesus Christ, why is this artist aware enough to have her ass flow out over the fucking stone? But not have her... It does remind me of a certain dumb, pasty human trying his best to pretend he's Don Juan. You're not Olivia, lady. But you do got nice hair. You were smart enough to go spending the money like a madman. It'll make what I have planned go more smoothly. I'm honestly surprised you didn't stick around. You stuck around instead of hopping on the bus or something. But then I learned about a woman in the sun you've been with. Twitter once again fails to suppress a small laugh. I can see you'd want to stay. Might have found out myself. Damn it! Guess all that advocating a low profile was a waste from the start. Guess Father Xanthus isn't gonna like hearing that. Yeah, he's gonna feel a little inequity. Jesus Christ, there's so much conversation here. It suits my plan better to have you right where you are. Why not come for me with the money? Why wait? Dare care to guess? Well, assuming you weren't blamed for the failure in the first place, the quiet of the robbery seemed to hint that something was going on within your organization. I assumed you were using the theft as some power grab of some kind. Then I'd overheard you tell the other guy, Tony, that none of your father's lieutenants were happy with how things were. They all want to get rid of your father, but none of them can agree who to follow. So you needed something to unify them behind you, like recovering the money. Very good. You've got the right kind of mindset for this line of work. Lord Ump, the good kind. Stop pooping! You are quite correct. But I'm using your title for to shake up my father's leadership. And if I can recover my money, I'll rather rally my father's supporters by my side. However, it's taking longer than expected to win them over. They are all scared out of their minds by my father and for good reason. If you suspect any of them are attempting to challenge him, you tear them apart and eat them. Not something any of them are eager to risk on my behalf. So I have to take things slowly and carefully. Fortunately, my father has put me in charge of finding the money and bringing the guy who stole it. So I'm not racing against someone finding you before I do. Which means I can take my time. Time I'm using to prove to others that I am worth following. You still should keep it open for though. Don't want any of the others seeing you and getting any funny ideas. The others? Jesus Christ. There's others to with you that night. What do I need to know to avoid them? Just keep doing what you have been doing, really. Can't you, the Leo Pleurodon is in charge of the archipelago?
And he gets a nice part of town. I don't know what he do to get such a cushy position, but he is going to be the easiest to deal with. Mostly because he's never been on the mainland. It takes his summons from either me or my father to get him here. Until that happens, he's content to stay on Manuhai, back on the beach and raking all the tourist money. Then there is Monte, the Carnotaurus, who runs downtown in city center. He's good at keeping a status quo and rubbing elbow with the city's upper crust. As long as you want any fancy parties out in penthouses with that space needle, then you probably won't bump into. Inko, no! Stop making out! He focuses on making sure the right bombs stay greased and disseminating orders from me and Afonso to them. Of course, that also means he has it in his head that he should be in charge if my father is not available. So far, I have been able to convince him otherwise. But then there's Bruce. The tough-looking shark, I take it? Yes. He doesn't run a district or territory. My father enforces more or less. Didn't think Alfonso would need one of those. Not even my father can be bothered to threaten everyone himself. That's where Bruce comes in. If there's any dirty work my father wants done, he'll do it. He'll do anything. And I mean anything. No questions, no qualms, no hesitation. Fortunately, he usually sticks close to my father, so I'm able to keep an eye on him. Just would go out for any night swimming in around St. Hammond Beach. He occasionally does like to get his flippers wet. Sounds like a charming cast of people I want to avoid at all costs. I kinda want to do Director Denovian after the charity fair. Oh? I recall you saying you had to get back to running it. Yes, what about it? What's someone like you be doing running a charity fair? Because charities can be very profitable. Really? Oh, yes. The amount of money some corporations and businesses are willing to pay just to sponsor a charity is very much worth the effort. The charity fair, the Hunters Festival, the Winter Soldier Celebration, the Christmas market. Anything that takes us around to Little True Town or this park, I make sure I get a cut. Well, the charity work I done that everyone has done. It's just lining your pockets? No, it hasn't. You and your church have been helping plenty of people, even if you've been doing so at events that I've set up. Most of my cuts come from providing the venue and charging the businesses and poofs that use the space. Bruce, my trusted enforcer, can you cut up my steak for me? My hand is too dummy big for my fork. I make sure that it reaches the intended recipients. I prefer to make sure that's unexpectedly generous of you. Oh, she could park, no, maybe wiser. Man, she's just nice. I guess it's mostly because she knows that the charity work can benefit her more than getting called out. Also, it leaves a paper trail that she'd probably rather avoid, because charity tends to get investigated a bit more scrupulously than company papers. Because, you know, people give it for a reason. Generosity can be a very useful tool. Ironically, getting greedy would only hurt my profits. If more people would have money and stable living conditions, the more likely they are to get back and spend money to businesses. Oh, you're way too fucking... You're not a capitalist. Get out of here. It's just cultivating the customer base. Not to mention all the free positive PR. Sounds almost legitimate. Legitimate business practices are the most profitable. Quite frankly, there are enough legal loopholes that we don't even need to break the law to continue as honest we have been. Sounds like she's more a businesswoman than a gangster. I wonder if that's what her ultimate vision for the gang is. To go from crime syndicate to corporation. Then again, in this day and age, what's the difference? Sean, she's pretty offended when I suggested that she just pocketed the money. But regardless of that, I still have another question. If you set up the charity fair and those in attendance, do you plan on Donovian, Malcolm and I to... Did you plan on Donovian, Malcolm and I to collide like that yesterday? Believe it or not, no. St. Hammer General Hospital always has a spot reserved for them at larger events. It's just standard practice, but they have no influence over who they send. Donovian usually doesn't send these sort of things, which you might have guessed by his temperament. I did not expect a school trip from the school of Mrs. Grant's son to be there. If I had to guess, this was an independent scheme from the director. Once I learned he was there, I went to ask him why, and lo and behold, there you were. I must say, the way you pulled yourself between the boy and Donovian was quite touching. If you step on the still, she's like, ah, that's fucking funny, and a smile on my face. But long story short, no, I may be good, but I'm not that good. I appreciate that we're leaving some things up to other people making opportunistic moves. He is a simpering, spineless worm. He has done nothing but simp and ask for my OnlyFans. At which he's also a rather useful asset for my father. A fact that gives him an unwarranted sense of invincibility. What does the Novian do for your dad? He cleans any bodies that make it to the hospital of any evidence that could lead back to us. Falsifies report, loses physical evidence, and shuffles bodies around to keep them away from the police. If there's anybody left, that is. These days, my father does not leave much to clean up after all. In exchange, Novian gets paid for these services, and the insurance that he keeps his cozy little position of his. There's a fair amount of dirty work for my father, and that earns him protection. As well as an opportunity to rub elbows with the high-class individuals sitting comfortably in my father's pocket. Then he goes on and acts like he can do whatever he wants. He thinks that lets him make certain demands of my father's organization. Like others, he doesn't ask my father directly because he's all terrified of him. No, he comes to me and starts getting uppity. For instance, at the fair yesterday, he demanded I find, humiliate, and kill you. To say nothing that he demanded I do something about Mrs. Grant and her son. His infantile temper tantrums about him have grown beyond tiresome. Fortunately, it doesn't take much to make him shut up and mind his own business. I just have to give him a nice reminder that he works for us and not the other way around. And threatening to have him eaten for pestering us with his personal problems never gets old. What about Alfonso? I'm surprised he hasn't torn the city apart for the fucking money. He doesn't care less about them. He couldn't care less about the money. Really? He is... My father is a monster. Even before he developed his particular taste. Every year that goes by, he becomes more brutal and more deranged. Like he's regressing in some sort of primeval state. Either he has, like, the genetics that make him big and scary also make him go fucking crazy, or eating humans has given him a prion disease. Yeah, they're becoming the Yakuza! It's not about the money, it's about the message. He terrifies all of us. That little display you were privy to that night was just a peek into the madness that has been growing for God knows how long. Being a cannibal that wants to exterminate humans was just a peek? Yes, I'm sorry you had to see that. But I hope it shows you what kind of terror we are all living under. The extermination of the human populace is the cleaner way of putting it. He wants to hunt them to extinction, and all our carnivorous saurians to take part. He thinks it is the natural order of things. Why don't the police get involved? Surely they want him gone too. I'm sure the chief of police would... Excuse me, this is a very dramatic soundtrack. I'm sure the chief of police would love to get rid of a monster like him. Before his madness, my father was exceptionally good at putting reliable stooges in places of power throughout the city. It's why the massacre of Skin Row gangs is allowed to happen. All it took to muzzle the cops was one call from the mayor's office and my father was allowed to run rampant. He's going to kill a lot of innocent people if they allow to continue. Until he finally runs into a wall of guns he can't brute force his way.
Yeah, the fucking army's gonna gun him down at some point. Like, this can only go so far before someone high up says, we can't let this happen.
Though anything so that the National Guard would not have enough firepower.
I mean, if he hides, yes. If he's up front, no.
For now, though, he seems content to lurk in his tower only emerge when there's someone or something to kill.
Yeah, he's basically just a cannibal who's having fun. I think the problem is that you need a really big gun and you need to have a few of them. And the problem is you can't just get a military group together like that. Lady, please turn the fucking volume down.
Although he does slip out sometimes and prowl the city sanitation tunnels looking for prey.
He can fit into the sewers?
Only the larger ones near the city center. If you ever hear a work you go homeless going missing, well, don't expect of any bodies to be found.
I'll keep that in mind.
I was thinking about hiding in the sewers when I first got it too. Just the thought of bumping into Alfonso is terrifying enough. I don't want to imagine doing so in a dark tunnel. So as you might expect, I'd rather he dies sooner rather than later. He is a killer croc. But it'll take more than I can do on my own. Which is why I would like you to help me. As pleasant as the conversation and company might be, I think it's time to get on with it. Unless there's something else I would like to... I think I could just...
Unless there's something I think I could still get idle banter like this. I might have missed something, but we're not.
I think I've heard enough. Let's talk about this deal of yours.
I would be delighted to. For the time being, I want you to hold on to the money. Feel free to spend a little bit, but don't go crazy. I will need it later if my plan is going to work. And if you prove to be a good team player, I can promise you a premier spot in my new organization. You'll be a made man for helping me bring down my father and for returning the stolen money. As for the Novian, I'll make sure that when Alfonso goes down, I'll airs out some of the director's dirty laundry. A little fun and I end up ruined behind bars. In either way, he will not bother Claudia and Malcolm ever again. Until then, I'll keep him on a leash for you and make sure you and your little community stay hidden. Although I will warn you that I can't control everything the Novian does, so you have to be on guard. He has a garage and is wealthy enough to make his own problems without help from my father's organization. That does sound like a very good offer. Wonder what the catch is. Do we even have an alternative? Well, what if I go to the police with all this information you've given me? What do you think? What are you going to do when the police ask for who you are? Assuming, of course, I let that happen. I'll remind you, I could just take what I want at any time. But I'd rather settle things with a nice compromise where everyone can win. Besides, I'd rather not kill you. Win. Without warning, I feel a cold, clawed hand ruffle my hair. I think you're rather crude. I don't need a third woman! Be gone! Edward laughs and rises to her feet.
I mean it. You are not that bad looking, and I understand. But I understand you're surprised by the notion, considering who my father is and all. Now, I will give you some time to think over my offer. There is still a bit of time before I need a definite yes or no from you. But I will come for an answer, there is no mistake about that. And when a word of warning, I will need that money back. And then, way or another, I will get it. I'll be in touch. Chabello! It's Tabello! The elegant allosaur woman flutters a hand in farewell and disappears into the mist, leaving me presumably alone with my thoughts. I made a most ideal situation, but Deirdre's offer is rather enticing. Okay, we're gonna leave it here. We're leaving it here. I need to go. I need to go. This is also another point where your affinities matter a lot, and I fucking love it! I keep saying that Snook Game isn't good, and it's getting upshown by its fucking mods all the damn time. Anyway, thank you all for coming. This was great. I love this mod, man. It is so fucking good. It has pacing, it's got some nice story beats, it's a little fancy, which I always love. Ugh. It makes my little baby heart bleed. I can't promise I'll be streaming regularly or anytime soon, but, please, keep it in mind. And give me a good tombstone. You know what, buddy? I'll get you a tombstone. I just can't promise there will be a body underneath. Holy shit, how the hell is it Friday already? As long as you're not melting, there's a chance. I will finish this. I want to finish this really badly because it's so good, man. This shit is fantastic. I love it. Is it a little cheesy? Who cares? It's great. I'm not answering that question. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Even if I'm a little sad about who's getting chosen. Would I convert for Mini? Maybe. I need a guarantee first. None of you heard that. None of you heard that. That was mostly to end my recording a little better. Give it a little sass at the end. I gotta upload all this shit now. God damn it. I have something also, but it's for later, because I just used my brownie points from you. Oh, god damn it. But thank you for coming. 3 hours! Man, this went way longer than I expected. I'm glad I didn't start at 3, or I'd be too late. I love the story. I love how that went about how I expected, because the story isn't written... Can I just voice my exhaustion about stories that always insist on surprising you? I love that the story goes the way that it's supposed to go, because that's how the story sets itself up to go. It does what it does, and it does it so well. Like, after all these stupid... And finally, I might actually join the group of people. The losers who want a dino mommy. Or maybe I'm fooling you, pulling your legs, creating a web of lies. And you are the losers. Behold the art where I have rendered you as the loser virgin and myself as the Chad. Ugh. Getting full credit for recommending you this. You know what? If this ends up being shit, you may. If it ends up being good, you may. Remind me during the last stream, because I'll put your name at the end. On the final video, I'll put your name. Like, blame this guy. Blame this guy. This guy in particular. Blame him. Send your angry hate mail to him. Send your happy fan mail to him. I will answer no fan mail. I don't even think I have a P.O. box anywhere. I don't think anyone could send me mail.
Man, I had such a big issue. Oh, man. I want to go read some stuff, and I want to get away from a computer screen because my eyes are genuinely starting to have issues looking at a computer. I don't know what it is. I think I've looked at too many computer screens of late. I need a break. I need a genuine break. Sorry. I might stream again this weekend. I promise nothing. Man, it's so nice to have something fun to do and look forward to. Who the fuck is sending me messages? You know what? I'm ending the stream here entirely because I have to beat the shit out of someone. No apologies. Only beating up. Only beating up. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.